What is up, people? Welcome back to the hotline. Your boy 112K and Aussie Antics are in the building. Aussie, it's been too long, man. It's been too long.
It's been too long, man. We both had a whole bunch going on. It's weird that like we had nothing going on in Fortnite, but you and I had everything going on. How's it going, dude?
I mean, we did, definitely tactically plan when we had things going on to make up for the lack of things in Fortnite. It was
of course,
smart on our part. But we are back. We got another show, and I'm really excited about this one. We are joined by the wonderful Blake today. Blake, brother, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
It's good. Dude, I feel like you take every opportunity to do every single broadcast. It's like if there's gonna be an interview, I'm like, there's a 50% chance it's Blake. If it's NA broadcast, it's gonna be Blake. You just like doing them, or you just feel bad that no one else does them? Like, what is it?
I just like doing them. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what drives me to do them, but I remember there's one FNCS. I think the last FNCS before Globals, I did the interview for Heat and like day one of Grand, and then last chance quals. Like back to back to back. No one's doing them.
No one is doing them.
I'm their last resort every time. They're like, all right, we got nobody. Blake's down.
You must have so many V-Bucks.
Yeah, what's the V-Bucks? How much V-Bucks have you racked up from the interviews?
Dude, I've probably made like 50 to 100k V-Bucks, but I've gone through a lot of them.
Actually, like pretty cool. Like it's not bad.
I remember at Invitational, Cease and NPen went on my PC in the practice room and spent like 10k V-Bucks on my account because I just had so many. I left my Fortnite open while I went to the bathroom or something. And,
oh no!
But no, that's pretty cool. It's free V-Bucks.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, if you're already gonna do it anyway, you already like doing it. You may as well get some V-Bucks out. That's pretty sick. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you excited? We have a show on our hands today. For the people watching who don't know what this is, you're watching this thinking, what on earth are these guys about to waffle about? Like Fortnite podcast, what are you on about?
Oh, yeah.
This is HotlineFN. This is the show for you guys, the listeners, the watchers. This is a chance for you to come on the stream, call in, give your take. We want unpopular opinions, hot takes, bold predictions. We want you to come and give us an opinion about competitive Fortnite that you have. We will then discuss your opinion. We'll let you know if we agree, if we disagree. And, you can fight for your opinion as well. If Aussie says, you know what, mate, I actually don't agree with Mongrel being the best player in the world, you can say, no, Aussie, he is the best player in the world because da-da-da-da-da. And that's the goal there. So if you want to be a part of the show, !podcast in Aussie's chat, and you will get a link to the Discord where you will be guided through how to get involved. If you're watching on YouTube, in the description is a link to the Discord there. I got something new though for this week that we've not done before. Essentially, we've had a lot of people say, guys, the show's on a bit too late. We can't call in. Like, I want to be a part of the show, but I can't call in. So I asked the viewers and the audience to submit some of their unpopular opinions to the HotlineFN Twitter account. And we're going to go rapid fire now with you, Blake. We're going to go rapid fire. I'm going to read out some of these unpopular opinions that the viewers had. And I want you to just say agree or disagree, and maybe like a one sentence to say why you agree or disagree,
Oh, man, this could get bad.
So,
I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, well, hey.
Some of these are a bit tame, some of them aren't too. I want your answers as well, Ozzy. I want your answers as well for some of these.
Oh, what?
Yeah, no,
okay,
I'm going to put you on the hot seat.
Maybe not everyone, maybe but if I feel I need to, I might chime in. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so the first one is, unpopular opinion, solo FNCS is the best type of FNCS. Agree or disagree?
I love solos, man. I love them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need another. So I feel like at the end of this year, after this FNCS, after Globals, they should host like a solo All Stars again. It's been so long, but solo All Stars was great. Yeah. Like that's a good needed tournament.
I feel that. All right. Unpopular opinion. Even if Mongrel had never retired and he kept playing, he would still struggle to get top 10 Grands placements. Agree or disagree?
I feel like that's a hard one. I feel like anyone can get top 10 in Grands if you've already done it before. If you are uncon and you have like, I don't know, everyone has their seasons, but there's no way to really tell. I don't know. I'm not sure how Mongrel was doing when he did quit. I don't know if he quit right after Stark season or what. But
didn't have a great run for a few seasons. Didn't have a great run for a few seasons. So I see where people are bringing that take from. I would say I'm saying disagree, like Blake, because you can bring it back. I mean, he's doing it now. Like they're right now. Like they're informed to get it potentially like a top. They'll make Grands top 25 if he didn't quit for a little while.
Okay. Well, speaking of that, the next one is
here we go.
Unpopular opinion, I think Mr. Savage and Mongra will call globals if they lock in and scrim with BloodX off stream. Agree or disagree?
I feel like off stream, it's kind of crazy. Like whenever you're pulling their numbers, because like streaming, there's so many benefits to it. But if they really lock in, anyone that locks in off stream can do good. But you can also do it on stream. I don't know. I don't know if I would agree or disagree with that. I think it's just, I mean, they're putting in the work right now, so we'll see how it goes. It kind of just comes down to if they're conned. Like being conned in a Grands is just a big disadvantage. Anyone unconned can place top 10.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I'm saying unconned, yes, they can make globals. I think conned, no. Not that they're like not good at spawn fighting. It's just they're not going a super crazy PY where you can qual in 3 games. So yeah, unconned, yes, con, no.
I hear it.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. Unknown Army's run in Chapter 2 was the greatest display of solo Fortnite of all time. Agree or disagree?
Oh.
Ooh, that was pretty crazy. That was when aim assist was at its peak, and he was the like fastest to adapt to it.
Yeah.
I would probably agree with that, or maybe Benji Fishy during solo FNCS Invitational. I think it was. He was going crazy. He won like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, he was. I feel like back then it was very much like on EU, Benji was a solo guy. On NA, it was like unknown. It's tough though. I don't know if
I almost feel like Benji's was more impressive. Like I'm not trying to discredit unknowns. Like the aim assist was just like
don't
definitely
ask
carried
me,
a lot, but Benji's he was winning solo cash cups. He was winning FNCSs like the weeks. I don't know. I feel like his was a little more impressive.
I feel like it's easier retroactively because we know just how crazy like the aim assist was. Like now when you watch some of those old aim assist clips, it's literally like you can't
cheating.
Like it's literally cheating. Yeah,
you could be a hacker. You could. That looks like a hacker. That looks like hacking clips. Now I'm gonna say no, only because again, solo cash cups crazy. Unknown was the goat. He started like gassing me up when he was having that run. Like that's when I first started watching NA tournaments. But FNCS has always been more impressive. Doing it against the best of the best rather than like a 1-round solo cash cup. It was crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna have to give it to Benji.
Yep.
Okay, we got a couple more before we start getting some callers in, so hopefully we can get the callers lined up. Again, guys, if you want to be a part of the show, call in, give your take to Blake and myself and Ozzy. Be sure to get involved in Discord, okay? So, unpopular opinion, Zero Build deserves an FNCS. Agree or disagree?
Disagree, man. Like, we gotta I don't know. I feel like builds, people are just mad about it because like they're just bad and they can't adapt and get better. So like that's why people want the Zero Build FNCS. And like obviously there's a big audience for Zero Build. And like Gamers 8 showed that. I mean, I don't know. Gamers 8 was a great Zero Build land. Like I enjoyed it, but FNCS should always be builds in my opinion, because that's the core of Fortnite. And if we like start drifting over to Zero Build, like that's just a bad future for comp, in my opinion.
I can back that one up. I seem to recall one of my good friends in the scene, Aussie Antics, making a video on YouTube where he mentioned that he wouldn't mind seeing a Zero Build FNCS.
Oh, come on, Aussie, come on.
I said if we have a good Zero Build meta, a trio or squad, no build FNCS at a separate time to builds would be entertaining. Do I think it would be more competitive? No. Do I think it should be the main game mode? No. But would I watch and find entertaining? Hell yeah. I want more tournaments, man. I want back-to-back FNCS year-round, like, obviously.
If it was separate from builds and we still had the same amount of build FNCSs, there's no problem. I feel like if it starts going at the same time, lowering the build's prize pool, or
no, that would be terrible.
I think that's always been the problem, where, like, a lot of the time, it's always felt like us having Zero Build, or I remember back in the day, it was even, like, with the console, like, FNCSs and Cash Cups, it was like, people didn't want them because it was like, because we have this, we have less for like, you know, regular builds, you know?
Exactly.
Whereas like, if
that's
it doesn't affect...
Or you just said that console FNCS.
Like, we can have both. Just don't make it feel like one is now the detriment of the other, because then everyone's just going to hate the other one. Just, again, we get it. Fortnite, you got some money. I know you're not trying to put too much in these days, but come on. Like, we can do both. We don't have to pick or choose here. We're not like, you know, we're not scraping change together.
Yeah. Nah, I hear it. Speaking of money, unpopular opinion. The World Cup was the worst thing ever to happen in Fortnite. My reason being that the World Cup created such a high expectation for competitive prize pools that could not be maintained. Agree or disagree?
I 100% agree with that. And I've heard it from a bunch of different people that the World Cup was like the biggest failure of all time. Like for Fortnite, they set the expectations too high to not stay up there. Like I feel like they should have like built up to it a little bit more, not just jumped. I feel like that was the first Fortnite tournament with like online quals, and it was those prize pools. So I mean, maybe World Cup should have been a little less, but
this one's a sore one for me because I think that's Winter Royale. I get flamed every time when I say Winter Royale. The first one was one of the biggest mistakes Epic ever made because it was just full charity cash grab, and it made so many kids think that they should be making $200 for coming 7,500th on EU Mobile. Like it was just insane. World Cup, you still had to be the best to make the money, and I still think it drew. Sorry, just wake up. A bunch of eyes onto Fortnite, but I wouldn't say it's the biggest failing of Fortnite, but they probably went a little bit too hard on it. It could have been like half the prize pool and still generated hype. But if it wasn't for the fucking mechs, it would have been worth it though. The amount of hype they generated, they kept that going, but we generated this hype, we put everyone on a platform, the whole eyes, everyone's watching Fortnite, and then we brought out the fucking mechs. Like, could not have timed that worse. I think Winter Royale, one of the biggest mistakes in Fortnite. World Cup, you could pick and choose how it could have been better, but I still say it was a net positive. It was still good.
Yeah, it definitely got like a lot of people interested in comp, but then, like you said, what they did off the back of that was a bit.
Oh God!
If I speak, I mean big trouble.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Unpopular opinion: Friday Fortnite was better than any competitive Fortnite event there will ever be, from a viewing experience.
Damn. Ooh.
From a viewing
experience, from the POV of a viewer. Watching Friday Fortnites was way better than any competitive Fortnite will ever be. Agree or disagree?
I feel like that's because of it was in OG Fortnite and it had all the biggest streamers like Nick Mercs, Ninja. So it's like more of the nostalgic look like looking back at it. I don't agree with that. I feel like a global championship or a World Cup finals is way more hype than that.
Yeah, I don't agree, but
that's kind of a horrible take in my opinion. But
very unpopular.
I think you can't keep that hype going either. Like, I mean, kill races just don't work. As soon as they added AI, even if they were doing $1 million Friday Fortnite every week, once they brought AI in, or even like skill-based matchmaking was super dialed up, it's not that competitive event. It was fun because it is what it is, and it was the first tournament. Yeah, it had all the big names, but it would have got stale, I think, if it ran too much longer. I mean, Keemstar tried to bring it back. Does anyone remember that? Keemstar had like me. Yeah. Like I was in a disco, like there was Ninja, there was Ron, there was Clicks, everyone was in there, and it was like gonna happen, and it just didn't because no one cared anymore. It's like, because again, AI and just pub races just aren't the thing anymore.
Yeah, you gotta move on, guys. You know, it was good back then, but
it was good.
They also killed pubs with all the AIs. Like it just would not be the same.
Yeah. It would be terrible. It'd be terrible. I did a like $25,000 or $50,000 kill race when they added pubs, and Muselk and Jordan won it when Jordan was on 200 ping because they learned that if they land two opposite POIs on the far end of the map, the game will code a squad to land on each room. So they started every round with 8 kills. Wow. And there's me and my duo like hot drop in the major POI versing like fucking goats. It was just, it was bad. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Well.
Yeah, I'm not still salty. It's all good.
No, it's fine. I could tell. It's fine. It's cool. Well, thank you very much. Those are some interesting ones. I appreciate everyone that's submitting them in. Keep submitting them in. We'll do these with every guest we have on each show if you guys enjoy that.
Yeah, so DM the Twitter.
Yes, DM the Twitter. Hotline, it's on the screen right now. If you can see now. HotlineFN pod on Twitter. DM your unpopular opinion there, and there's a chance we'll get read out on the show. We got a first caller though.
Ooh.
You guys ready for the first caller?
Let's
do it. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hi, I am Fessy and I'm from the Netherlands.
Ooh,
welcome.
Nice.
Ooh,
welcome, bro.
I'm not gonna be your friend tomorrow. When it's England.
I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah,
I didn't think we're gonna have too many Europeans tonight. I was like, it's later. Like the match is on. I was like, I don't know how many Europeans we're gonna get. We're kicking off with someone in the Netherlands. Nice.
Okay. What is your take, Fezzy?
My take is adding crash pads now is better than adding a POI one day before semis, and just like that in general. Like just adding stuff 1 week before is better than
I think
1 day.
I feel like they shouldn't add anything before, but that's just my opinion. But I agree with that. Adding a broken POI, like the first MTS Peterbot one, they added that POI in the middle of the lake. I don't remember what it was called, but it was just
God, the collider or whatever. The collider. It was just it had everything. It was like they made it in the block. It just had everything. Yeah, okay.
It was just the day before, and they just won FNCS because no one conned it, and I don't know. Crash pads now is definitely better. I agree, but I feel like neither of them should even happen. Like, we've been practicing all season.
The weird thing with the crash pads, I'm sure Ozzy, you're probably about to say is that thing, is I don't know if you guys saw the Fortnite status tweet that they made about removing fists like last week, right? They basically were like, full transparency. We're not adding Nitro fists back to the game because we don't want to upset the meta. We don't want to disrupt the meta too much, I think was the words they used. And everyone was like, W comp Fortnite? Like, wait, you actually realize you probably shouldn't change the meta like right before semis and grand finals. And then we wake up today and it's like, oh yeah, we're adding crash pads back, by the way. It's like what? Like, what do you mean?
Okay,
that's insane.
I need to be honest. I had no idea where this question was coming from. Can I what's happening? Wait, we're getting crash pads? I don't know this. I read this. Okay, fill me in.
Ozzy.
This is supposed to be my job. What's happening?
Sorry, Ozzy. Yeah, I know Ozzy just woke up. So Ozzy's an example. One of the people that just woke up and is finding out. Yes, they added crash pad juniors back to the game. They're in comp. That was today. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, because I'm literally waking up to this. I'm reading this message and I know Fessy and I'm like, why? What is he smoking? I'm like, why do we pick crash pads? I'm like, so am I supposed to break down like the impact of a very specific item to a POI? Oh shit. Okay. Well then, I mean, yeah, I got to agree with that take, but yeah, nothing really should be changed majorly. I guess, I don't know, Blake, are people going to use them a bunch, do you think? Like, is this going to be like, because again, we're in a pretty low mobility meta. Like, they might actually be decent.
I mean, if we look back to season 1 of this chapter, crash pads were used a lot by the time Grands came around. No one was really using them in the beginning because they were just like, it's grappler only meta. But once people learned how to fizz crash pad, like that was a huge rotation item. So people are definitely going to be using them
as well.
Yeah. It's literally going to be like season 1 again without the grapplers.
Yeah. We were talking about this earlier. We filmed the Fantasia podcast earlier. We were talking about this. There's a world where I think like you might carry crash pads in like early and mid game over nitros just because of like the ability to make those types of crash pad plays, and then obviously like distance you can get as well. Nitros obviously like better in terms of like the control you have over your movement, right? Because like sometimes with like crash pads, like especially deep in games, they could be a bit rough to use sometimes. But even deep in games, like height takes with crash pads and fizz is like better than what you can do with nitro in most cases. So like
I'm already calling it now too. Like Cameo Seti or someone on Europe is going to come up with some insane strat where you like hit the ring. Like, you already hit the ring with Fizzbear and you like bunny hop and you go to Narnia. They're going to combine that with like a crash pad. They're going to end up like on dead side within like 3 seconds. Like it's going to be ridiculous. And if you just drop them by doing the double space trick, then your teammate can follow you on them too. Because it's the exact trajectory, I imagine, I think, or just split them up before you do it. Like it's going to be super meta changing. But I do still agree with the original take. I think adding an item that everyone get their hands on though is still better than just a POI. Because like Blake said, if you add a new POI and one team just claims it because everyone's going to stick to theirs and that's the best POI on the map, it's just way worse for competitive. But I mean, hey, I'm down for adding a little bit of spice to it. I mean, I like it.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Firstly, are you somebody who like is like down for changes before in general, or you just like, would you rather have no changes?
I mean, we already had like the conversation with the fist a lot. Like, I would prefer like crash pads over fist right now, because that is just changing like the whole season, and fist added would still be boring.
Yeah, I see it.
Fair.
I see it.
Yeah, I agree with the take though. I think you got 3 agreements, mate. Nice.
Yeah, no, fair. I think that's fair. Thank you very much for the take. Thank you,
Fessy. For the audience watching home, we are going to try and like me, Levin have a chance to go nostalgia wise. I know Blake will as well. It'll be just the Cease Podcast 2.0 where like someone asked that question and all of a sudden we're talking about like chapter 1, season 2, like a pro player no one's heard of. We're trying to keep it a bit snappy. We're going to try and go through them a little bit quicker and stay on topic a bit more.
We want to get more of your takes in the show, especially because there's been times when like someone's like, called in and they're like waiting for an hour. And they're like,
please stop talking,
guys. I gotta go to bed now. We got the next caller in though, so let's jump right into the next one. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello. Can you hear us, caller?
Oh no.
Oh dear.
Oh, Leif, did you mute your mic, mate?
He's not muted in Discord. I can see him in Discord.
Oh, no. Okay.
Well,
I mean, we could read this one.
I can read this take out for him. I don't want to be the one to read it.
I kind of want to talk about it though. I mean, okay. Leif's take, and we'll see if we get him in here to give his opinion on it. But EU is tougher than NA, Cash Cubs and FNCS Opens, but NA Grands were more competitive. And I'm guessing that sounds like previous. He's not talking this season. He's talking previously. That's a spicy one. That's a real spicy one. I'm gonna let one of you guys take that first before I give my thoughts.
I feel like I could agree with that only because EU qual is always higher. Every single Cash Cup, every single Opens, like EU was always higher to qual, more points. So I guess I would kind of mean it is tougher.
11's face.
But that being said, he left. With that being said, NA is definitely the harder region, especially this season with all the EU teams coming. Like this grand finals on NA might be one of the most competitive grand finals we've ever seen.
But I'm gonna do it because Levin's obviously mad at EU bias, so he's trying to like hold back a little bit right now. Blake, previous seasons though, which grands is harder, EU or NA?
NA, bro. We got the hardest region.
What? Really? Did
NA
you say
on
that
top.
with like a bit of like a chuckle where I'm like, I think you're just kind of like doing it. I think you're revving if you're not really
trolling.
like.
He's trying to
I
fire
don't feel like your heart is in
He's
it.
trying to
I don't
hype
feel like
me
your
up
heart
right
is
now.
in it.
Nah, I'm not. I don't know.
Levin, clap back,
Okay.
Levin. Come on.
Let's
Come on,
hear it.
give me
Let's
thoughts,
hear
give me
it.
thoughts. Come on.
Without sounding too EU biased for you, why I would say that isn't the case is so the first bit, EU stuff in NA and like open rounds, I think that mostly just comes down to like more players, you know, like that we've had that conversation a million times. Like there's
Just
not much in that. Like
statistics,
I don't really care about that. But when it comes to like the grands lobbies, for me, EU's more competitive for a couple of reasons. The biggest thing with EU that I think most pros will agree with is the diversity in play style meant that like it's like EU was more challenging on like different layers for different reasons. Like for example, a good height team from EU back in the day going to NA would have just had a field day because like nobody's looking up at height in NA like previously, right? Like historically there was just not many people over the past couple of years who do that like at a good level, right? On mid ground as well, and like mid ground layers, a lot of like the best NA mid ground teams, with the exception of probably like Cold in like the past couple of years, right, playing with Acorn, like a lot of those guys weren't at like the crazy like fragging level of like a Malabuka mustache where like if you're on mid ground and there's a slight sense of vulnerability, you were just dead. Like you ask any EU team, it's like, yeah, on mid and low, like if you just look weak for half a second, Malabuka mustache got your ass. But then on top of having guys like Malabuka mustache that just like completely dominate you, you'd also have like Cammy and Seti taking the best positions on mid grounds. Like there was just so many different types of play styles, I feel like, that were specialized in EU over the past like couple of years that made a grands lobby in EU harder to maneuver in for like a newer player or just for the average player in a grands lobby. And so I wouldn't agree that NA has been hard in the past, but
I could probably agree with that. I was probably trolling a little bit, but
what I will say as well, just to add, because I know people always say, oh, EBAS. I do think like the best NA players are like as good as the best EU players in most cases. Like last year, I thought like Cold was like the best player in the world.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like I don't think there was anybody that other than maybe like Veno during Major 2, right? Like for the most part, you know what I mean? So like I think like the best NA players and the best EU players can go head to head, whatever, but I wouldn't say I think NA is hard.
I'm stirring the EU bias thing as well, but I mean like it's hard, man. It's also the thing that's hard about EU is because it's not followed as heavily, because there's not as many eyes on it, and that's not just including this season, that's like every season. You have some random ass teams that are crazy, who do stuff that no one's realizing, no one really gives attention to, and then people kind of like see it as more of a fluke. When NA has more eyes on it, when the scrims are more viewed, when the tournament's more viewed, because of the language barrier as well, I think as more people you speak English can understand almost all the NA players, almost all of them speak English. When you watch them, you can appreciate what they're doing more. I feel like EU, even I struggle at times to understand who the good teams are and who the good players are, because there's so many of them. And then that makes it really hard. But the best NA still do hold their own against the best EU. And we've seen that on LAN so far as well. We've seen that across most of the LANs as well. So, but as far as the cash cups, yes, EU is definitely harder in cash cups. It's just a statistics. There's more players, quals higher, quals harder. There's just more people. Like, and again, like the 100th best player in EU is way better than the 100th best player in NA, in my opinion. But once you get to the very top, then it starts to equal out a little bit. But we've had this conversation so many times.
Yeah, I think so. I think Leif is actually back.
An endless conversation.
Leif,
it is.
Are you here? Can we hear you, Leif? I think he joined back. Maybe he can give his opinions on this. I still can't hear him. I still can't. It's fine.
But this, I think we can all agree that this NA Grands is going to be the most competitive by far, right? Like there's been enough pros who've gone over that have made NA crazy hard this season. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think like we're about to get an all-timer in terms of just like interest, like just how interesting the grinds is. Like the actual quality of the grinds could end up being like doo-doo, which it probably won't be. But like it would still just be so interesting because of like all the names and the dynamics, and it's the last chance to qualify for globals. Like that is one thing I feel like doesn't get hyped up enough. Like I feel like we don't hype up enough as a community that like after this
is the
like
last
next
chance.
like you can't, like after this next couple of weekends, you literally do nothing until next year.
Next
like,
year.
You're out
I don't think we want to face it, bro. We don't want to get hit with the depression that hits with that. Like, imagine, like we're talking about, do Savage and Mongrel make it? If Savage and Mongrel don't, or if anyone don't, no offense, Blake, you're here as well. Like, you're sitting back just playing cash cups for like half a year. Like, that is terrifying if you're a player.
I mean, this bye week that they just. I don't feel pressure, Aussie. Come on. No, this bye month that they're doing right now has been the longest couple weeks of my life. Like it actually, there's nothing to do. Yeah, you can play scrims every day, but like that just gets old. Like there's literally just nothing to do, and it's like imagine this. I mean, we might have Chapter 2 OG or whatever the leaks are, but I don't know. It's still definitely gonna feel long. That's why I'm saying we need like a solo All Stars or something.
Oh, I think, hey, there's leaks of I'm on the full coping of this. There was leaks like 4 months ago about an OG FNCS, like it's throwback, it's solos, like I'm feeling it. Like it would make so much sense. The investment would be so worth it for the player base. Like Epic has to be listening. People would take my videos and like, oh, Ozzy, you said 200 pumps are bad and now it's gone. It's your fault. They don't give a shit. But I am trying to manifest this so hard. Like every chance I get, I'm like, yo, wouldn't it be great if we had a solo FNCS OG? Like I'm pushing it so hard. Like, come on.
I'm with you in this battle, brother. I will do everything I can.
I mean, hey, yo, you're on the inside, bro. Just like in the random meeting. Yeah, how about like OG solo FNCS, Dodds?
If that's how it worked, we would have been had that. We would have had that.
Fair.
But yeah,
well, thanks, Lath, for the take. But
shame,
see you, Lath, when you watch this back, I guess.
Yeah.
Hope he's good. Hope he's all right.
Honestly, same. Yeah, hope he is good. That was a bit tough. Do we have the next caller ready? Can we get the next caller in? Let's see.
So you don't get nervous on that, Blake? Like the extra pressure of like last land and stuff like that doesn't get you that much?
No, I mean, I feel like if I'm gonna qual, I'm gonna qual. You know, like we're experienced enough to qual. It's just a matter of when Grands comes down, what happens. Like I don't know. But I'm pretty confident. I mean, I think I'm gonna be conned again. There's like multiple Glacier teams. But I mean, last season we got 11th while con. So if we do that again, that's gonna qual because someone.
Good point.
Yeah,
good point.
So I mean,
it'll be like 13th or 14th, I think. I don't think every team will qual. Like, I think, like, no offense, OC kind of underperforming. Like, they've been full focusing on ESL. We'll see, but I think at least three of the LAN teams already qualled surely should get a top like 10 to 13 again.
Yeah. Well, we have 5 with OC.
Yeah,
I think all 4 NA teams will get top 10.
Yeah, I think the 4
top 10. I think we'll see some on like 11th or 12th. But they're already going to be in a qual spot because that'll still get picked up.
Yeah, 100%.
True, very true, very true.
Quick question before we get the next call in for you, right? About Grand Glacier. Do you almost not mind being conned at Glacier just because of like the little surge advantage you get from that? Or is it like it's so little damage that you just don't really care? You'd rather not.
I feel like me and Macwood don't really struggle with surge that much to where we need those off spawn kills. And if anything, like if the fight gets dragged out longer than like a couple minutes, like your game's most likely over. You're just so grief. There's not enough loot there. Like the spot's good on con, but whenever you're con and a fight drags out, teams are popping shield, like it's just wraps.
Yeah,
so,
fair enough.
I'd obviously rather be on con, but
yeah, I know in like EU, like Pink and Vico, when they were playing with each other, like they'd land obviously at that like the lake that's just beneath like Glacier.
Yeah.
And so if like that fight was dragging out, they're in there straight, like third party in as well.
It gets messy over there. It gets real messy. You think like bring the mounds and stuff, usually being on the edge, like around mounds is a safe spot of like not getting pushed in on, but no, definitely not Grand Glacier. Why? Like, is it just because you know the strats now, Blake, you're committing to it? Because God, I swear that drop is ass. Unless it's fully uncon, but it's just, I don't know.
I mean, it's like, where else are we going to go? We're going to be con no matter where we go, so we might as well stick with what we know. And like, we've already proved once that we've done good in a Grands while con there, so.
True. Yeah, fair. Very fair.
We just got to stick it out and just hope for the best.
I hear it.
Nice.
I would love to go somewhere else, but like, there's just nowhere else.
Where do you go?
Yeah, that's fair.
All right, let's get the next caller in. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Hello. My name's Nick, and I'm from New Zealand.
Hey, what's up, Nick? I think you might be our first ever New Zealand caller.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit later for him, but this is still an early start. Well done, Nick.
What's your take, Nick?
Yeah, so my hot take is that, in general, I think so many pros grind hard but not smart, and that the difference between washed and primed actually isn't that big of a gap to bridge if they explicitly identify what's going wrong. And like it's like the more nuanced errors in their gameplay, and like rather than as opposed to just grinding what they want to.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I feel like if you just sit there and play ranked all day, like you're not improving. If you're playing Zone War tokens, if you're playing aim trainers, like 1v1 aim duels, all that, like the right stuff, playing scrims and actually not just playing scrims just to play them, but identifying like what you're doing. Like we're going to go into this game, we're going to try this game, see if this works, to know if we should do this again or not. Like if you're actually like putting in the work and trying to improve on specific things, I agree. Because a lot of people probably, I mean, me included for the most part, like I'll just queue up for solo ranked and like you're not improving by doing that. Like you're playing the game, but it doesn't help at all.
Yeah, it keeps from getting like so Blake, this is an interesting one for you as well. So like, are you, because I know a lot of this comes down to friend groups only. People talk about friend groups all the time, like you like improving and surrounding yourself with people who know what they're doing and practicing and knowing what to practice and then having good people to token against and stuff. You like, I don't think you're really in like a heavy comp friend group, are you? Yet you still maintained your skill for a super long time. So I guess like, how do you identify what you need to work on then if there's not any new perspectives coming in?
Yeah, I've never really, the only friend group I've really been in was Stark season with like Dubs, Mega, Cease, Bizzle, all of them. Yeah, it was like an OG friend group. Then that died after that Grands because like a bunch of us ended up conning each other in that Grands.
Okay, so not the best.
I don't really sit in friend groups, but recently I've been playing a lot more tokens. I don't know. I kind of just play the game and like somehow have been keeping up qualifying for Grands. Obviously, my Grands placements aren't the best, but I mean, I'm just con, so it's pretty hard.
Conned a lot,
If I was uncon and getting my placements, like it'd be kind of embarrassing, but I can't even be like that sad about it with the circumstances I've been given. But I don't know. I just somehow managed to qual every time, and hopefully I'll keep doing that for a long time to come. But
Levin, you're in one, like you're around a friend group like this. So I mean, you might maybe identify it even more than me on kind of how like the improvement goes around behind the scenes.
I can say for certain, I've seen the direct correlation between a pro's friend group not grinding as much and them falling off. Like, I've seen a lot of players who it's like their incentive is very much, I get on because I'm hanging out with my friends who are also top players. And by us playing with each other a lot, I stay at the top of the game. And if those guys aren't there to give me that drive and that push, I'm probably playing the game a bit less. And then I'm not as sharp. I'm missing small things, small details in like a Grand's lobby. That's the difference between me doing well and not doing well. It's interesting because the thing I always used to say, and it was quite hyperbole, but it's because I was trying to get across like a point, is I always used to say to people, Fortnite pros aren't smart. They're not smart. And what I used to say about that was just exactly the sort of point that Nick is making, of that, like a lot of the time pros learn and improve through constant trial and error. Like they're playing so much that like you are like figuring out what works and doesn't work through playing, right? It's like when you see these pros who come up and they're like, yeah, I've been grinding noble scrims like 18 hours a day. It's like, of course you're gonna get that. How could you not be good? Like how could you not be good? If you're playing that much and you don't figure out what works and doesn't work, of course you can't be good. The difference between them though, and maybe like me and you, Ozzy, right, is where we aren't playing the game that much. So how do we figure out what's good? Is, well, we actually have to sit there and think like critically and think, okay, well, this works and this wouldn't work, because like we actually have to think about it, right? And so what happens is that for the pros who got good through massive trial and error, what happens when you stop doing that massive amount of trial and error?
Sure.
You aren't learning as much. You're not figuring out as much, right? And so like that is the difference maker. I think for pros who are leaning towards getting washed, or for pros who maybe are taking a step back from like playing the game as much, you have to make the conscious effort to start to actually think about Fortnite more. And if that's not your thing, then at least get the help from like a coach, or maybe you've tried find a friend group where you've VOD reviewed together and stuff like that. And I think that can help out a lot of the time.
I feel like
coaches too.
What you saying?
You go, Blake. No, you go, Blake.
I feel like Macwood's a good example of that, because he's played the game like
he does not play a lot.
He does not grind the game like that, but he just has a brain. Like he has the game sense still, and like can adapt to the metas, which is why we can still qualify for Grands without playing that much. Like we don't really scrim that much. We don't really do anything. I think last season we went into heats. He was under level 100. and we still did good. And like,
dude, seeing some of the levels, but like Macwood's definitely one of them. But seeing some of the levels, like the first cash cup will come around, and there'll be people who are like level like 4, and I'm like, yeah, I haven't got on the game. Like it's been 2 weeks of the season, and then they get in, and then like it'll be a call, like you and Macwood. Macwood will be like, so like, what is this like thing I'm holding to? And it's like that's the whole foundation of this season. Like, I think the meta, like you are holding the meta in your hand, and you just don't even know what it is.
I think it was in heats of last season, upper bracket round 2. We were end game stacked. It was when the bananas were in the game, and you had to like sprint jump to not take fall damage. And Macwood didn't play the game, so he didn't know you had to sprint jump, and he walked off and died end game. And I got the res off, but I was like, dude, like you got a sprint jump. But like that's just an example of it.
Yeah,
and that's like you learned from playing like 4 ranked games. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But then he still understands like, but the things that a lot of the stuff that don't change about like conditioning height and when to take height and surge positioning and like staying ahead of zone, when to stagger, like that doesn't change too much. And you can pick it up as long as you're playing with someone else like you, Blake, who can communicate well. You can like fill them in. But I do think that's why I've seen the rise of coaches, and that's why coaches I think have been so big, because if you aren't someone who thinks about the game analytically, you have someone who does, who can then condense it down to you. Like if they're watching every tournament, they're like watching all the VODs, they're learning the strats, and they pass it all on to you, and that's a lot easier. Or even then, I feel like a lot of pros who aren't analytical, like you were saying, they need to start thinking about the game more. They don't know where to start. Like the question I used to get all the time in a VOD review videos from a lot of decent pros too is like, I don't know what to look for. Like if I don't know what's wrong in my gameplay, like I died here, but what did I do wrong? Because a lot of it's like 3 zones ago, you went frontside when you probably should have stayed backside. But that you can't identify that until like you're in it. So having like a coach or someone to tell you just cuts down that time so much. But again, not everyone has access to good coaches.
Yeah.
Fortnite's definitely like a domino effect. I guess like one big game of chess. Like what you do early game kind of determines how the rest of your game will go. Like one bad rotate earlier in the game, you're just kind of screwing yourself like later on if you're not dead side or like don't get enough surge because you set up here instead of somewhere else. But
yeah, that's fair. Nick, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Is there a pro that comes to mind when you think about it? I feel like this came out with a very specific take. Do you have like someone you identify you think could be so much better if they were like grinding properly who doesn't, or is that too harsh?
Yeah, I would say, I can think from a viewer perspective, it kind of hurts watching when like it seems like there's so many things that even like a viewer could point out. And again, I think it comes back to what Levin was saying versus that analytical perspective versus the trial and error. But yeah, I would say like, I mean, even just from the NA scene, I would say Bucky and Clicks are 2 good examples, right?
Yeah.
Where like in Bucky's case, I think, he during chapter 4, he really adapted to the meta, and I think his trial and error worked. But then, I don't know, it feels like there really isn't a huge gap, and it's kind of a shame, I think, because there are some players who could be doing a lot better, but they think that they're quote unquote washed, but it's not really that simple.
Fair. Yeah, good take. I like it. I mean, and it's always the pros you want to do well too. The ones you want to do well. Like, I mean, even like I questioned it yesterday, bro. Again, we use Bucky's example. Bucky and Ocus, man, contesting Batman, Booga, and Rapid. I'm like, just why, bro? Like, you're picking the top 3 team on the map at a drop spot that they know really well that is a really hard drop spot to win if the other team knows it better. We literally saw that during Grim season. Like, it's just with the dash water and the positioning and the way it all works, like it's a tough one to contest. Like, you guys just should be taking on either an easier team or a drop that's a bit more maybe just firepower intensive rather than one that's going to take a lot of preparation. And Batman, Boog, and Rapid have just both gone to 0 ping. Rapid drove 28 fucking hours for this. Like, my man, he's gonna be out bodding you. Like, you know, he's putting in more work than you. Like, Rapid and Batman, if they don't get like a top 3 this season, it's gonna be like a disappointment for them. Like, that's not a team to contest, and it's frustrating to watch. But not much you can do. They got to make their own mistakes, I guess. Yeah, or prove us wrong. He loves proving people wrong. That's what he does. We'll see.
That is his thing.
Yeah,
100% is his thing. No, thank you very much for the call, Nick. That was interesting.
Nick. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. It's always a tough one. I definitely resonate with the whole like players who like almost their image at least is that of a washed player, but like you're not that far away. Like, you know, I look at, for example, and maybe this is an extreme example, but like I look at Alex's stocks over the past year, right? Like in EU, they like were falling rapidly. It felt like, and then like he gets with Sato, this like younger, cracked player who's, you know, a lot more motivated, grinding a lot more, and, you know, easy on their way to global championships. It's like, you're never like that far off. I feel like, especially when you've been to like the mountaintop and you're good. But
yeah. I mean, their inconsistency is a little bit rough, though. Maybe it'll show that. I mean, going from making land to then not making semis the next season is brutal.
And that's where the complacency starts to kick in again. That's the problem, you know?
True. That's they qual, sweet, I'm good, I'm back on top, baby, I got this. And then, like, I'm the GOAT again. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, nope, never mind.
It gets you. All right, let's get the next caller in. What is your name? And where are you calling from?
My name is Prankston. I'm calling from Virginia, and my take is casual competitive players need more tournaments, like skin cups, and I feel like solo victory cups. There should be some where instead of first place gets 100, the top 10 should get like $10, because competitive players that are more casual. Like, we just never win anything. Like, we qualify for finals and then we just can never get close to like top 10.
I see where you're coming from.
Hold.
I feel like it's not supposed to be easy. Like, it's not supposed to be like the $10. Like, what are they going to pay you out? $7.60 after taxes? Like, that's just like. Like, I understand where you're coming from, but it's not supposed to be easy. Not everyone is supposed to be able to make money from the game. You know what I mean? So
quickly,
I'm going to jump in.
Oh no, there you go.
Okay, no. Okay, I was going to say, before everyone jumps on this guy, because I know, again, Prankster, I 100% where you're coming from, and there's a lot of people going to flame you for this, and my chat's already blowing up at you. I respect your bold opinion. It's because, and this is going to sound like it's coming from left field, Fortnite doesn't have a good ranked mode. So you can look at the other games where it's really hard to make money. Fortnite's esport is super open, but there isn't something to be grinding every single day other than third-party scrims. So that's where this opinion comes from. People want something that they can queue up from and feel a sense of achievement for doing well in. I think that's totally fair. I think using money for that, like $10, is a little bit off. I think skin cups, again, PR, if that's what you care about, or just a general tournament to be like, look, this week I got 300. Last week I got 200. I'm getting better. I think that's cool. I think that I 100% agree with. I think adding prize money to it then kind of becomes that charity mindset. Like Blake just said, it shouldn't be easy. But I think where you're coming from, I think the $10 is almost a formality. It's not, you just want something to grind for. It feels like it's worth it. Like you had some kind of like a cosmetic, or like maybe you got like a banner around your character that shows that you did really well. You just want that, like, you know, you want to feel like you achieved something. And I fully agree with that. I think the money is where it kind of goes a bit funny for me though.
Okay, I agree. But like, there needs to be something to like win, skin cup. Like, if there's just no skin cup, there's nothing, like, there's no sense of achievement because there's just no tournament.
Yeah, nah.
So, like,
I think Epic runs all those ranked cups and stuff for what you're kind of talking about, but there's obviously no reward to them.
Yeah, but it's like, oh my god, nobody cares about ranked cups.
Nah.
Yeah. Like, now they just have these new duo open cups, and it's like,
God, just add one skin at the start of the season. I said it for the ranked mode. Do it for tournaments. Have a tournament every single week. Add a skin where, like, based on how the highest placement you get throughout that season, you get a style on the skin. Like, that would have kids going crazy. It's just you have to make people care about the tournament. Otherwise, it's pointless. I agree with that.
So I'll ask you, Prankster, what, as a casual competitive player, as I'm guessing, and I'm a casual competitive player myself. I play tournaments not because I want to be a pro one day, but just because I enjoy playing tournaments and I enjoy comp. Why? I want to know, like, why do you play comp as a casual competitive player?
Well, so I play with a lot of my friends, and like, we're always trying to like, look what I got, look what I did, and it's just fun to like, even qualifying for the second round of FNCS, even though you're not going to get to like lowers or anything. It's just fun to know that you you got to the top 2,000.
Yeah.
So, like, it's something where a small sense of achievement would still be better than like no skin cups at all.
That's fair. Okay. I think the Victory Cup is also, as cool as it is, we're giving people a chance to grind. I think if you're someone who's in that period of like, you can make the second round of skin cups, but you're like not really good enough to get the win because in the current meta, it's like flawlessly playing rotates into medkits and all that. It is like tough. It's a different kind of tough, but coming 45th, 12th and 7th in the solo victory cup doesn't feel that crazy exciting as if it was a one-round solo cash cup and maybe this week you came 150th and last week you came 700th. Like, that would feel more rewarding even though both made nothing. I think it's just the way the victory cups are being conditioned to people where it's literally win or nothing. Like, doing better consistently gets you nothing and it means nothing is what really like triggers people as well. I think also just needing a solo event. I think we need a solo FNCS or a solid solo event because It's so hard to want to put time in and get better and improve and track your placements when you always feel like maybe your teammate wasn't as good, or you couldn't find a teammate, or you're switching teammates, and my teammate couldn't practice this week. Like having a teammate is so much harder for casual comp players to actually gauge their success.
No, I all in agree with like the points being made. I think having more incentive of like things you can give people, even if they are like meaningless, sometimes is like fine. I remember, this isn't even Fortnite related, but I remember there was like I used to play FIFA a lot with my friend, FIFA 16, and there was a tournament in game, and it was called the Hoof Cup, and it was basically for a team of the season, Hoof, which was like a centre back who was like slow as fuck, and it was a terrible card. Like you would like you won the card for like winning the tournament, and like you wouldn't even use the card. But I remember me and my mate like sat there grinding it like after school every day, because it was just like you just wanted to win it, to say like I won the Hoof Cup, like I have the item. And I feel like definitely having more things like that in Fortnite, like skin cups and whatnot, it's good for like you said. Like I feel like we always spend a lot of time, especially like us, talking about like top level of comp and what like we want for that level. But yeah, for casual comp players who just enjoy like playing tournaments and shit, yeah, we need more stuff like that, man. We need more stuff. I'm with that.
Yep. I want to get Blake's perspective. Blake, like obviously you're a pro who's playing for money, you're playing for grants, you're playing at a chance of making it to lands and stuff. What like is there anything that would make you play these realistically outside of content? Because you make content, so it's different. But if you were a non-streaming pro, like you wouldn't play them, right? Like you wouldn't play like a skin cup, even potentially. Like you might play for a little bit to run through a lobby and try and drop a 40 bomb and then get bored and get off, right?
Yeah, there's no way I'm playing a whole skin cup off stream. Like on stream, I could see myself playing the full 3 hours, but also whenever you're an epic partner, you get the skin for free anyway. So I'm not playing for the skin.
you got that shit already.
That's weird because like you look at other games where again it's usually taken up by the ranked mode, but you'll have like you have like Faker, like League of Legends best player of all time, still trying to grind rank to like improve as a player, but also get higher ranked, or maybe he's not as much, but there's other really good players who are trying to get a high rank. It's for nothing. They make nothing, but there's some pride in getting there, and there's some like status with it. There's just no status in Fortnite outside of earnings. Maybe a bit of PR, but even then it's a third-party system. Like Fortnite need to get something in their game that has status with the player base. You know what I mean? Whether it is a skin that has a better style, or whether it's like a banner in your friends list. I don't know what it needs to be, but they got to do something that people grind for. Like, I was playing Apex Legends at one point just for nothing. I just wanted to get high rank because it was cool to get high rank.
Yeah,
I felt special for getting there.
I think a good rank would definitely help, and I know we've had a bunch of conversations about like having a good rank, so I won't go into too much into that. I will play devil's advocate and say I have seen in like a bunch of like the skin cups, like you'll look at the leaderboards and like you always see like 1 or 2 pros at the top who are like the guys
there's always someone playing. Yeah,
there's always guys like
Maz will be there or
like,
something. Yeah,
there are a bunch of pros I feel like who are like very nerdy about Fortnite, in that like they're very much like I want to have every cosmetic.
Passionate.
Yeah, like there are a couple out there. There are,
Bro, Oatly's given his all to like daily do it. I mean to do an open custom. Yeah. Oatly's the
he's got the grand finals comms in those.
Yeah, he's a rare breed though.
100%. Thank you very much, Prankster. Yeah, that was good.
That was a good one. Thank you, Prankster.
That was nice.
Thank you.
Can I ask one more thing though? Just
what's up,
bro?
But Blake, what if they did a tournament where it's top 100 get a skin, it's exclusive, no epic partners get the skin? Like, would you do it? Like 100 in the world, but never bringing it to the item shop. Like that's it. Like,
if they made the skin like a good skin, like a Surfwitch type skin. Yeah, if I know it's never coming to the item shop, but
like
I feel like for me, I kind of use the same 2 skins anyway, so I just don't care. I don't know. I've been playing this game since I was 15 years old, man. Like, and I'm almost 22. It's been almost 7 years. I just do not. I don't care about the cosmetics anymore. But I understand like why people do. Like 100%.
I also feel like if they're gonna do that, it needs to be like the cool ones. But I also feel like they don't know which are the cool ones. Like they can't gauge.
I don't know what the cool skins are, bro. Like it's what I feel like I'm out of touch sometimes, man. All the pros start rocking a skin. I'm like, this looks like shit. Like, oh my god, man. Don't get me started on which skins pros are just decided cool. And they all just follow suit, like, yeah, bro, I love this. No, you fucking don't. Mongol just wore it a bunch. Shut up. Like, you don't think this is cool. You're just wearing it because they did.
I genuinely think like that is an untapped world in from a Fortnite perspective of just like using pros and like really like influential like competitive players to like
I see where we're going.
push certain like cosmetics, you know?
Cosmetics and stuff. Yeah, I mean, okay, the best example for me is the wrestler skin chick. That thing looks like shit. That skin, the color scheme of it, the look of it is ass, but it was like the mongrel Nitro, like prime Fortnite skin.
Yeah.
So people want it and they'll
the
always
Dynamo?
go back and use
Yeah,
it.
Dynamo.
It's a shit skin. Like it's an objectively ugly skin, but it has nostalgia and like status to it.
Yeah.
I agree. I feel like they made everyone use that skin. I think that was my trio's grand final skin in season X too.
Yeah,
Everyone
was
using
doing
it. Yeah.
Everyone was
and that Benji Fishy pickaxe, the really long one with like the things at the top of it that he
the fish sticks one.
Yeah, it was the fish sticks. It was a horrible pickaxe, but everyone used it.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, you're not going to see anyone ever using that.
I can't believe people used to actually run that like fish stick skin. Like that skin is
that
skin is not a comp skin, and we all used to run it because of fucking Benjamin Fish.
Benji Fishy, bro. Benji Fishy, bro.
Oh man!
All right, we're gonna start waffling here. We're grown men at this point. Three of us now. Blake, with Blake being an old man, talking about fucking Fortnite skins and which ones are better. All right, thank you, Prankster. I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
See you, dude. Thank you.
That was good. That was the right amount of nostalgia I needed.
We were about to go down like a waffling rabbit hole. I knew that was going to hit like nostalgia vibes, but do you remember this skin and someone wore it at some point? Oh my gosh.
Bro, my brains were, you know what? Let's get in that caller, bro. My brain's already going in.
I could tell.
All right, let's get this caller in. What is your name and where are you calling from? Oh, I know you.
Yo, my name is...
Yeah, I know you.
My brother.
Yo, what's up, guys?
What's up?
What's good?
I'm undercover. This is my alter ego. Like it's not the guy.
Okay.
It's not the one you guys know. This is my alter ego. This is my Fortnite persona.
Okay. Cool. We'll keep it low key.
My question was just about the women's competitive scene. I know there's been a lot. I feel like things have gotten better with so many different girls like that play competitive Fortnite. They've been qualifying for different tournaments, like the solo cash cups. I think have been very helpful. Duo cash cups, FNCS. We've got girls that are making heats and things like that consistently. You know, so like I guess my question was kind of centered around like with this big milk cup land. It's the first women's land we ever had. Like I just want to get your guys' thoughts on like how do you think that how big of an impact do you think that land is going to have like on the women's scene in general?
I think it's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
And bring a lot of attention to it.
I'm involved with the Milk Cup, so yeah. There's a lot of attention being brought to it. I mean, I'm like one of the main people who's doing all the watch parties on and stuff, and they've reached out to me. I don't know if I'm going to the land to be involved in any way, but I think it's cool. They're making, in my opinion, one of the biggest mistakes I've ever seen, and I've openly said this to multiple times, and I'll keep saying it to them. There is some absolutely insane female players out there, but as the scene grows, there is going to be a big disparity between the top teams and the bottom teams. Like you've got Moxie's teams, you've got Somerset's team. They're basically it's between who then wins the game. Few other teams come through, and the way they've done the quals, not letting them play the next qual, just drastically defeats the purpose, in my opinion, of the spotlight being put on women's esports. Because now people come in and show and watch it, and then it's not. They're missing the 11 best teams. If you take NA Grands and take out the 11 best teams, the game quality is going to be way worse, and people are going to make fun of it. And then you do that again, which is what they're doing again. You take out the top 22 teams. It's trios, by the way, and you're left. It defeats the purpose. But I do think what the Milk Cup's doing is amazing for the female scene. We've seen some really good performances recently. I think what's going to hold back the female scene a little bit with players is just generally people not giving flowers to a girl playing with the guy. We've already seen Moxie and Death make Duo Cash Cup finals and do really well. And I'm trying to highlight Moxie. I was like, yeah, 'cause he's playing with Death. Death has missed out on Duo Cash Cup finals a lot with other male pros. So like you can't pull this card of like, oh, Moxie's got carried. It's not like he was just one man solo arming there. So that's what's kind of hard. So I know a lot of the girls try to play together to do it good as a double duo girl in regular tournaments, which is a lot harder because that makes your pool of players so much smaller. But as long as we let people have their accomplishments for being a girl playing with a guy still, then I think it'll be fine. And I think it'll continue to flourish.
Yeah. I feel like it's one of those things where it's clearly going in a very good direction. Because I remember a time when like there just were like none, or at least it felt like there were none that were ever talked about, right? It was like Moki at the time, I think, and like back then it was like nobody else really that got spoke about.
Basically, yeah.
And so like clearly we're moving in the right direction. I think there's clearly more to be done. I think the key thing is just like, again, visibility of these things. Like the unfortunate reality is that like these things will get memed regardless. Like, and the situation like what you're mentioning there, Ozzy, where like people aren't given the actual right credit where it's deserved, will definitely happen. But if it just keeps happening and we just keep pushing these things and it just, you know, it's in your face so much, it gets to a point where like you just can't deny it. Like you can't. You know what I mean, how many times is she gonna call before like we're like, you know, maybe she's just the GOAT. You know, it's like that's what happened. So hopefully we get to see more of it. I think in terms of like the Milk Cup, I've not been as locked in. I want to hopefully be more locked into it, like come the LAN and stuff like that. But
everyone's gonna start saying it, chat. It's called the Milk Cup because it's ran by a company called Gonna Need Milk. Yes, the branding is very questionable. You are not the only one making this observation. There is a reason though. They didn't just come out and call it that. I mean, maybe there was like, you know what I mean? But like, they didn't just do that because they wanted it to be troll. Like it was actually, that's their company. It's about bringing attention to the consumption of milk. I know it's insane, but that's just chill on that.
That was also a bit weird because I watched the broadcast and it's like they had all the like ladies drinking milk on the broadcast and I was like, is this what we're doing here? Like,
I know. It's, you know, take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. In a certain way, to be fair,
something didn't feel right.
I will say one of the things that's come out, whether you get the broader audience on board with supporting female esports or anything like that. Again, the Fortnite community is very young. We know how they respond. Blake, you're very, very close to it. It gets very odd, but the thing that I've seen is really cool is the male pros at the top level are definitely respecting female players way more. Like without a doubt, like the amount of times I was watching a tournament the other day and it was obviously 1 pro and like 2 content creators. And when it's content creators, you kind of made a grand. So that, you know, they're obviously picking from a lot of people who don't play that seriously, but a lot of them picking up a lot of the really top tier female pros who've gotten close and haven't made it. And people in my chat are like, oh, it's a co-ed tourney? And I'm like, no, it's not. It's just that the guys are realizing that there's girls out there who are crazy good and they're picking them up for the best player to make money with. Like they didn't choose them because they had to because it's a girl. They wanted to because they're good. And I think that has a huge impact. And then you see all the girls doing like tokens now as well in the token scene. And you see like, you know, all these tournaments. I think it's helping a lot. And the more that like Peterbot and players like Clicks and stuff play with girls, respect them, give them their flowers and show them like, you know, gives them a spotlight, I think it helps a lot. So it's definitely doing a lot of good.
So without going too far on a tangent, even though what I'm about to say is going to feel very tangenty, we obviously mentioned like doing more things like solo all-stars. The one things like I've been saying a lot is like I'd love that to become like a whole LAN experience. And one thing very recently that I never realized I missed so much from watching old Fortnite events, I miss pro-ams so much.
Oh, so much.
Pro-ams were actually fire as hell. Like they were so fire. If I was gonna do them though again in 2024, I'd lean less into like the like Uber celebrities, maybe some celebrities who have expressed they're really into Fortnite and stuff like that. I'd get some of them involved, but I would invite like, I'd be more invitational based and I'd invite like old pros, right? Like imagine you get like Nitro back and stuff like that. I'd invite, you know, some of the top ladies who are out there like killing it. Like I'd like use something like that as like a way of like doing, you know, pushing more attention to people in the scene who like clearly deserve it and maybe don't get it. Because imagine we have like a sick program with all of these big names and it'd have all the eyes on it because everyone's watching because of how many people involved. And then you do have like someone come through who's just like rolls it and everyone's like, damn, I didn't know the ladies were so good in Fortnite. And it's like, there's ways you can like really do things there that are cool. I think the Milk Cup is definitely a boost, especially come time for the LAN.
LAN will be very interesting.
But yeah, in general, I just want to see more of those things done for sure.
Was that announced where it's going to be?
It happens to be around the same time. It's in September, which is either Global Championships or TwitchCon are both on at that point. But it's a US-based tournament, and both of those are in the US, and you have to be a US resident or have US residency to be able to play in it. So it's almost guaranteed it's going to be ran in a LAN in the US, and you have 2 major Fortnite LANs that month. So it could get tacked on to Copenhagen. Copenhagen Global Championship. I don't think it will because Rocket League literally starts the next day. So unless it runs before Global Champs, but I think TwitchCon. My eyes are on TwitchCon. That's the end of it's in San Diego. It's at the end of September. They're saying this land is in September. Bunch of people there, bunch of setups. That would make sense.
Like that would make the most sense.
That would make the most sense. But I'm involved in Milk Cup, but I've been told nothing. That's me just like putting the pieces together. That's not like a leak. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Not
touching anything that you've been seeing, bro. Just so you can have like your own input as well. It was a good question. It's a good topic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like I watch a lot of women's comp, obviously. I definitely think that, kind of like what Levin said, it's come very, very far. Still has a long way to go.
Oh yeah.
But getting a LAN is definitely like getting a LAN is huge. Like for the prize pool that it is too. Like I feel like the fact that there's even that amount of girls now to be able to compete in a LAN is another like big step that's going towards like making the scene better. But yeah, still a long way to go though. But we're making big strides for sure.
For sure.
I did want to ask though, did you guys like would you guys have like a favorite for the LAN at the moment or no?
Oh
man, I mean,
I feel like probably. I feel like Somerset. Like I don't know.
Yeah, me too, man.
That's crazy, bro. Yeah, she's pretty decent. She seems okay. I mean, it's Moxie and Somerset's team, right? Like,
Yeah,
it's literally between the two of them. Like, I think like if you took the last like maybe third party tournaments not so much, but from the ones that I've watched, I think you take the last like 25 games that I've watched of Fortnite set lobbies in the female scene, especially in trios, and it's like I think all but maybe 1 or 2 wins has gone to those two teams, and the other when they're not playing because they can't play. Like it's Moxie or Summer who's gonna win it most of the time. Some of the other girls are popping off though, so I'm excited.
I know like Vanessa's team is also good, but definitely
Vanessa's
Moxie
team really good. Yeah.
Summer's team. Like, that qual was just between them two. I feel like. I think I don't really remember, but
no, they came first and second the first qualifier, and now they both can't play. So
yeah,
that wasn't great.
It's weird how they did that.
That's not great.
Yeah,
I keep pointing it out, man. I'm trying so hard. Hard from the inside to be like, can we please change that? Like, just for the sake of, again, I'm gonna be watching it. Like, I love being able to be like, look how much better these girls are than what you thought they were. Like, that's what my stream becomes for the day. It's like, damn, look at this crazy shit. Like, they're on high ground, proper high take, dropping down, pre-piecing, like taking walls, pre-edits, getting refreshes. Like, it looks like, high level, regular competitive Fortnite. You take out the top 22 teams, it's not going to look like that. Just like it wouldn't look like that in an NA Grands. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a sore topic for me at the moment. I'm pushing.
Well, no, thank you very much, Will. That was
thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks, bro.
Appreciate you, bro. We'll take some of the most fire picks in the Fortnite comp. If you're at a LAN, will be somewhere just taking like a fire picture. Some of my favorite pictures of myself from events from that brother right there.
W.
Oh yeah, he's a good photographer.
Very good. All right, let's get the next caller in. Back to back. Let's keep it rolling. What is your name and where are you calling from? Hello? Do you hear us, caller?
My name is Jonathan and I'm from the US.
Hey, what's up, Jonathan?
Jonathan?
Welcome. What is your take?
My take is that Nitro effect should only be given from canisters and Nitro rings to fix meta, and I think would make for a fun FNCS.
Okay. I like it. I mean, I got a quick one on this. I love permanent mobility around the map, and I like it being more powerful. Like, I think of like the geysers back in the day, and this could be like a mini version of that. I think that's pretty cool. I think it gives even more advantage and power to the teams already dropping far south, though, that already have so much of an advantage with just like the cacti trading and stuff like that. But I think on the topic of having more permanent mobility around the map, I like that.
Yeah, no, I feel like that too, but I also think metas are better whenever it's an item that you can find off spawn at any drop spot. Because like obviously if it's only canisters and rings, like there's only so many rings on the map, but obviously everyone can use them. But a canister, that's a one-time use. Like once someone uses that, it's gone.
True.
So
yeah,
I see like where you're kind of coming from, but I feel like you kind of need the Nitro splashes if Nitro is going to be in the game, if that's the main mobility. But obviously now we have crash pads. We'll see how the meta changes. But
I really liked how they made Nitro so easy to get. Like, being able to get it from the ammo crates and like, it being so common, I feel like is much better than not. I prefer a world where we have the option to carry nitros if you want to carry nitros. I think that for me is the meta I'd like.
I don't think there's a disadvantage to it.
Yeah, and if anything now, even though I don't like the timing of it, if anything now, I like that we have crash pads where it's like now there's more of a decision. Because the bad thing I'd say is that like everyone was just carrying nitros, and it's like you're gonna carry nitros because why wouldn't you carry nitros? The only mobility is like maybe that you could argue gets a bit stale or it gets a bit whatever. But like now that there's actually a choice between, some people might go, "Oh, I might not carry these nitros right now. I'll go for crash pads." I feel like that's a nice dynamic to have. The dynamic of choice varies the play styles, varies the plays. But yeah, there's just not enough of those like nitro canisters around the map for that to be like the only way you can get it, I feel like.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I maybe wish I know that again the map changes don't get picked for the competitive scene, it's for the casual scene. We know that and comp just deals with it, but I would love to see some more permanent mobility strategically around the edge of the map or around POIs that they know there's gonna be more issues. The launch pads around the mountains, I think this chapter is actually a pretty cool way of doing that, but I would like that even more because it's just when surge-based metas are now 100% the meta in comp, it'd be so nice if you dropped an edge map. Again, imagine Grand Glacier, because you know it's on the edge of the map, super far away, there was just a geyser or some kind of permanent mobility next to it.
We have
they have a ring.
We have a ring now.
You do have that ring right there, I guess. But there's no way they did that because
it doesn't go like
Grand Glacier. You know what I mean? Like it's cool that it worked this time, but
that ring also isn't even that good because if you fizz hit it, you're gonna get stuck on the mountain by Reckless in front of it.
Yeah,
like you can't even you can't get the full effect unless you go right. But
so like the one thing I'll say is that it's weird because I hear what you're saying, and I've always liked more map-based mobility. I do think this season there is like a ton of it with like the way you can chain the rings together with like certain routes with the fizzing and the ringing, and I think we'll see like
and Fizzberry launch pads. Yeah, there is a fair bit this season. This probably wasn't the best example by me.
No, I understand what you're saying though, because even then, it's like only some spots get the true like good advantage of it. Like some spots, the way you can chain them together are much better than like a Grand Glacier, for example, right? Where like you just have one, it takes you one direction, and that direction it takes you isn't actually amazing anyway. But I do feel like we have a lot of it this season, and it's cool because you see a lot of like cool things cooked up. Like in Grand, we're gonna see people making some like crazy fizz, ring rotates where they're like just getting across the map. We already saw it a bit at the start of the season when you'd see like a lavish lair team going and taking the Nitro drone coin, and you're like, how are you there in half a minute? Like, so we already saw some cooks of it. And then obviously you mentioned again the pads on like the east side of the map, like you can do some really cool things with those a lot of the time. So there's definitely good options on this map, I feel like, but maybe balancing it more so that it's more fair for certain areas, because it's still very one-sided to like certain parts of the map right now.
Yeah, it's good for casuals as well. Like I feel like casuals want a map that's a bit more balanced anyway, right? Like it feels like if you're landing, like I don't know what they're gonna do the next season. I don't mind if the desert biome goes away, but I loved in last chapter, chapter 4, where they just kept adding the new areas on top of the oldest area rather than replacing the new thing with another even newer thing, because then it felt like the whole map had something going on in it. Right now the north part of the map, and no offense, the east as well, Grand Glacier, it's like, bro, this shit is boring. Like nothing's out here. Like
it's
been
3
like
seasons
this for a
old
while
now.
Yeah, we got to spread some love around here.
Yeah, I agree that's fair.
Nice. Tilt, is it because you like, so what is your take on this as far as like, do you like the idea we're talking about having like permanent mobility and where it's not being held, or do you just maybe not want everyone to have as much Nitro? Is that kind of like the angle you're coming at it from?
The fact that I just like seasons where it's like not mobility focused. How do I make you remember last season when it was dash coin was really like the best thing for movement, but you still had like fizz launch and stuff like that, so there was other ways, and I feel like that was a fun season. It also reminds me of the season with the jungle season
with the mud.
Yeah, with the mud and
that was rifts as well, guaranteed rifts as well, right? That was like when you could like rift and like push the island at a certain time and stuff. You had like the guaranteed rift altars. That was pretty cool.
That was a fun season.
Cool. Yeah, that was a fun season.
Yeah,
getting one tap with a friggin' sniper pistol across the map and like just no damage drop off. That was ridiculous.
That was crazy.
No.
Hey, Tilt though, like to take, bro. Before Levin starts,
I just got flat. No, I wasn't even gonna reminisce on mud. I was just having some flashbacks to the mud where I was like, that shit was just too strong. And I feel like
it was crazy.
I feel like there's a world where after this Grands, where we will sit here and be like, the rings were too strong. I feel like there's a chance we will be saying that after Grands, but
maybe. With these crash pads now, I'm very like I'm still processing the fact that I woke up and crash pads are back in the game. But combining that with the rings, I think is going to be very, very insane.
Yeah, for sure. There's going to be some crazy things you can do with that. Do we have next caller ready? Can we get next caller in straight away? Oh wait, did I say goodbye to Tilt? Oh, my bad. My bad. That was so rude by me. Oh my god, I'm sorry, bro. Damn.
Get him out of here.
Oh, bye, Tilt. Bye.
All right, later, man. Be safe.
Yeah.
See you, Tilt. Thank you, bro.
I'm terrible now, bro. Fuck. All right. Let's get out of this caller in, man. Oh man. Oh man. Let's go.
We go.
All right. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Ooh.
My name is Tuga, and I'm from Florida.
Ooh,
What's up, Tuga?
I feel bad when they come in and I'm like, I want to listen to the person, but I love looking at their take real quick and I'm like, damn, this one's a great one. Okay.
What's your take,
Go for it,
Tuga?
Tuga.
So Acorn is the best IGL in history because he has such a great ability to stay ahead of the meta. He's always a favorite going into FNCS.
Okay. I'm gonna jump on this one real quick because I love Acorn. Acorn's my boy. He's one of my favorite people. But I'm just gonna break it down from like his best achievements. The first FNCS win, little bit Mickey Mouse. Let's be real. He got real lucky with Zayt having like a very locked in off spawn battle. If you guys don't know, this is when he was dropping Slurpee and Zayt was dropping Hydro Dam, fighting. Anyone remember who? Blake, do you remember who Zayt was fighting in Hydro? Anyone? I've forgotten who it is. He was fighting someone at Hydro that was like not the best, but it was real grief, and it meant that they could instantly push in and just steal the RPG. So they were the only team in the entire lobby who had an RPG every game and free damage, elims, and surge. Hunt? Okay, going up against Hunt. Yeah. So again, not super well-known players. That one, good, but kind of can't count it too much. Every major achievement since, unless I'm mistaken, at least the best ones have been with Cold, who Levin talked about earlier being one of the best players in the world. And I think that helps a lot. For me, for someone in my books to be like the best IGL ever or really give them those flowers, they need to have done it with multiple teams in multiple metas. I haven't seen that too much from Acorn. He's in the chat now. We had it one game. You did not have the RPG one game. There is just no way that is true. If I go back and rewatch that VOD, there is no chance that my memory is that bad. You got it one game. If you got it one game, I retract that one. Definitely earned it. But I'm going to say Acorn is one of the best IGLs, but I don't think the best IGL ever. I think that's got to go to someone who's done it throughout different metas with different people.
What do you think, Blake? What's your thoughts on this as a competitor?
The cash cups he won, I feel like, as well. Sorry.
Ooh, okay.
He's won a lot of cash cups too.
Yeah, I know, that's fair.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. I mean, it's kind of hard to say who the best ever is. Like, there's always, I feel like in Fortnite, there's so many different game modes, so many different formats, different metas that some people do good in, some do better. Like, calling someone the best ever in Fortnite is just a conversation you'll never come to an agreement with someone who disagrees with you. You can never convince someone who the best is if they think someone else is the best, but he's definitely up there. No doubt.
Levin, come on.
So I'm getting a call. Give me a sec. Yo, Queasy.
Queasy.
They disrespecting me, my boy. Yeah, nah, they're talking crazy on you around there, Queasy, man. They don't remember, man. Yeah, man, we gotta remind them, broski. We gotta remind them. Come on, man. Look, dude, like that's my brother. I love Acorn. I love Acorn. I think Acorn's amazing.
I do too.
I think Acorn gets underrated a lot because of how good Cold has been. But I think one thing that holds true a lot of the time, even in some of those seasons where people accused Acorn of just dying first every time, is that a lot of the time Cold is in good spots to get refreshes because of Acorn. He's not do you know what I mean? There were times when of course they were complete shambles and Cold pulls something out of his ass. That's why you want to play Cold on your team. But also a lot of spots where Acorn is putting them in the best possible position to succeed and for Cold to thrive. But
I'm going to jump in real quick. Sorry. I think that stemmed from Centered and Cold. The land where Centered and Cold came third or whatever.
Yeah.
One of the most ridiculous performances ever from just the absolute dog shit loot they had. Kind of put in everyone's mind that Cold can just pull off just Jesus level clutches with sticks and stones, which he can.
Yeah, he can.
When he played with Acorn, that's not what was happening most of the time. Acorn would go down and Cold would be 5-5-5. Best weapons, good mobility on a good spot of zone with full surge for the game. And he just had to just play the game out. Yeah. And I think a lot of people carried over that first assumption of Cold into Acorn's performances too. So I will say Acorn does not get anywhere near enough love for how well he does with Cold because of that. Sorry to interrupt.
And it was also his first.
No, you go.
His first FNCS win in duos with Cold. Cold put up 50 elims or something.
It's crazy.
So everyone just thought Acorn got carried, but obviously he's doing all the IGLing and stuff, putting them in those positions to get those kills. That's what people don't realize. And the average TikTok brain is just gonna say that he got carried.
Yeah,
but they don't realize how much actually goes into it and how much Acorn actually did that grants.
Yeah. With that being said, though, with me showing my love to Dula, he's not the best IGL of all time. He's not. I think for me, when I look at the best IGL performances, because again, when you're looking just at who's the best, there's always gonna be it's when you're having GOAT debates and whatnot. But then when I think of some of the best IGLing performances, what were performances where like an IGL like tactically cooked up a strat and a plan that was just infallible. It couldn't be beaten. Like no matter who the IGL was playing with, as long as they had a hand and eyes, they were going to be in a good position to win FNCS. Queasy has done that countless times. Queasy has put on plenty of top like IGL performances where you're like, this guy has been in the cooking machine. Like he has been in the kitchen cooking for months to lead to this. You look at even Janice, right? Janice is someone who's done that well historically a lot of the time. I think back to, you know, seasons from SETI, right? Seasons from SETI and Cammy where they've absolutely cooked. Aqua.
Aqua, that's what I was about to say next. Why is all EU? Why none of the NA IGLs like where they had like an infallible strat? I guess Peterbot, but then again, like Coin is always going to come into that. You know what I mean? They had something no one else had. It wasn't like they worked with the tools that everyone had and then came up with a strategy that they made themselves. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like an NA IGL where it was at that point where they just had a strat that was just infallible.
I think obviously Zayt back in the day.
Yeah, I was going to say
Zayt. Obviously Zayt. Yeah, Zayt.
Zayt was good at that back in the day. I'd say Mankwood even back in the day was really good for that.
Not now though.
Not now, not now.
No, Mankwood sucks now. I mean,
not
he's
now.
washed up. No, I'm just kidding.
But
Mankwood still got it. Maybe I'm holding him back. Maybe I should let him go and
let him go and just play his one cash cup a season before Grand and see how it ends up.
I mean,
it's weird. There's no NA.
We've had don't get me wrong. NA has seen like good IGL performances in the past. I think. Like I think there's like definitely been.
They have for sure.
I think there's definitely been players who have put on like really good ones. But in general, I think, you know, when it comes to strategical masterclasses, we gotta look at our friends over on the European side of things, and some of which who have a lot more FNCS titles to back it. And have had a lot more impressive performances.
Sorry, Levin. Chat, like 50 of you were saying Centered. We are talking about infallible strategies. Could not be beaten. Centered hasn't won a season. I love Centered. My man is one of the best players of all time. But what Levin just said, you can't name someone who hasn't won. It's not possible. We're saying he had a strategy that could not be beaten. Centered, very sadly, by small margins, has been beaten. He hasn't won yet.
And to be fair, to them, I would still put Centered in the conversation of like
one of the best
IGLs. Yeah, definitely.
Sure. But not that standout single performance. Though I just think of all time, definitely one of the best.
100% not. I'm the chats are going to be naming names. Don't get me wrong. Like I didn't name everyone, but those are just the ones that come to mind. Like there's other people who obviously have that same status and have that same ability to say that. But yeah, I think for their play style, for like the way Acorn plays, I think he is one of the best IGLs for that ever. 100%.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, it's you know, very intuitive, a lot of decisions made on the fly that are like just very good at reading the lobby around you and reading your position and how to maximize that. I think Acorn's really, really good at that. But yeah, I wouldn't.
Dude, I want you to defend it because you came with the best IGL ever, and we've kind of been like, he's one of the best, but not the best. Like, what's the counterpoint?
Yeah, what are you going to say to convince me that I'm wrong?
Are you standing on it? Yeah, you standing on it?
It's been so many different metas. I feel like he's always been a favorite. He's winning like every qualifier. Different seasons, not this one. Last season was a little unlucky, but I feel like he has like so many perfect seasons, and then he gets a little unlucky in grands. But I feel like he's always a favorite to do great.
He is always on top in grands. Like top 10, top 5.
Wall being conned in some of these instances as well, which is crazy as well. Like doing really well wall conned, I think that's where true IGLs shine. Like if you can pull off a really good performance wall conned, even though it was triple conned and they had a vault and like the teams didn't fight that much, still messes you up. You make one bad call, you set up in one bad spot, or you loot for like, 30 seconds longer than you should have, and one of you gets caught out. Like I think that is when IGLs really shine, and his performances wall conned have been extremely impressive, I will say.
Yeah. I think if your point then is that like, okay, his longevity and his ability to stay consistently relevant as an IGL, I think that's fair, but then I'd then rebuttal and say like a lot of the people I named could also say the same thing, you know? Like I feel like there's a good handful of those, like these really good IGLs who have like just managed to last the test of time, regardless of when. And in most cases, to be fair, I think Acorn's more consistent than most IGLs you look at across like Fortnite com history. You'd be comparing him to a lot of EU guys, so maybe it's unfair. But it's like I think he's more consistent than a lot of those guys. But even then, it's like the longevity argument can go both ways. So I'm not with you on
Blake,
this
do you
one.
have the best IGL of all time? Do you have the best IGL of all time? Like, is there one person that you like?
Wait, Tuga said something. 2 seconds. Tuga said something there. What do you say, bro?
What more could he do to make him the undisputed GOAT? Like, what do you guys think?
Win the LAN.
Winning LAN would definitely be.
Yeah,
A
there
statement.
is so many players right now. We're winning this LAN. Like, we've got so many people that people still debate with, like, who's in the GOAT debate. Like, you got Boogie, you got Tayson hasn't done well on LAN yet. You got Mero, he's done well on a LAN, but people trying to take that away. Like, you know what I mean? There's so many players right now. If any of them win the LAN, it's like gonna maybe finally, I think, seal the GOAT debate. There's a few people in that run, and I feel like Acorn, maybe not the GOAT of all time, but definitely one of the best IGLs of all time. I mean, maybe even, I don't know, actually. That's a tough one. Would LAN?
No, for me, it wouldn't.
Maybe I'm just...
For me, I don't think it would. For me, and again, it's just like, there's an element of bias for me in that, like, what I look for in my IGLs, I don't think Acorn's ever gonna give me in terms of what would what satisfies me of like the type of strategy and the play style is never gonna satisfy me from that perspective to where I like fully commit. Again, even with me saying that, that could change, you know, depending on what comes in the future. But like,
I think win this Grands into LAN. Win this Grands into LAN would kind of do it for me. See, then he's beaten some of the best. That I reckon that'll do it for me. LAN win, FNCS win back to back. Blake, you agree? Oh, did we lose?
Hello?
I
don't know.
Hello?
Yeah, we should be good now.
Bro just did the English or
did
Spanish
you just
challenge,
sit
bro.
really still?
Bro was
Like,
just
what
still.
was that? Yeah, that was crazy.
English or Spanish,
you really
bro?
still on your camera?
No, my camera was good. I just got disconnected from Discord.
English or Spanish,
you
bro?
like perfectly still. That was terrifying. Okay, never mind. Do you think so? If Acorn wins this FNCS in a Grand, do you think that makes him the best IGL of all time? This one into next?
I mean, I feel like the conversation just... If he wins this Grand and wins LAN, then sure. Yeah. He's been around for so long and he's done so good. But like, being the best of all time, like that's crazy. That's a crazy title to have. I don't know.
Fortnite's been around too long, man. Too long.
Yeah, it's
too
been...
long.
I wonder...
Like, what FNCS is this? Like 21, 22?
Oh my God. I think we're 22 or 21. Yeah, we're deep.
Yeah.
Acorn was in chat. I wonder if he thinks he's the best IGL of all time.
He's gonna say no because he's the humble goat. That's what Acorn does. Acorn's so humble.
Acorn does do humble gimmick, but one of us.
I don't think he does humble gimmick. I think he genuinely is mad humble with stuff.
He's humble, but he's
Acorn's a nice guy,
gimmick, man. Everyone's doing humble gimmick to some extent, guys. Come on, man.
They are a little bit. Who do you think says they're the best of all time? That's a good one. Sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent. Which player right now do you think, if you ask them, lie detector hooked up, mum's life on the line, do you think you're the best player of all time? You think Peterbot says
Tayson says that?
All time?
Oh, of all time?
Tayson says that.
Yeah.
Definitely Tayson, Miro.
Does Miro say it? I don't know. I've never asked
Miro. I feel like Miro's got to say it. He has like 6 FNCS titles, 1 LAN. Like, he's done it all.
Kanada, yeah. Everyone's saying Kanada.
Kanada's mad realistic, actually. Kanada's the opposite, bro. Like, Kanada's so realistic when you get him in the right mood, where he'll just be like, yeah, man, like, we kind of like luck that shit. And then all of a sudden they added some dumb shit and I was really good with it. So I finally got my win. You know what I mean? Like, Kanada actually is pretty good about being a bit modest with it, genuinely. I don't know. Rise is saying KVM Rapid.
He might deserve to say it.
Acorn, yeah, you correct me with the RPG comment. I actually want to go back and check if I'm wrong on that. If I am, I apologize. But Acorn, do you think you're the best IGL
He said nope. He said nope.
He said no.
Okay, he said no. Okay, he said no.
But we know he's doing humble gimmick. He's probably typing in DMs to someone right now like, these brothers are talking shit. I'm the best.
This shit, bro. They don't know me.
But yeah, I feel like Tayson says that. It's funny. I remember there was a time when we were filming content for
maybe
Tundra.
top 10. Sorry, that's humble gimmick for sure. Sorry, Acorn's going maybe top
maybe
10.
Top 10.
That's got to be humble gimmick. Come on, bro. You got to put yourself higher than
now
that.
We're going
never
too
mind.
far,
I'm gone,
man.
Yeah.
Come on, Acorn, bro. Let's not do this, bro. All right, I feel like there's not many that I think would say it. I know there's probably like there's a lot of people who at different times would be like, I'm the best in the world. And like feel that even if they probably aren't, like there's people, but like to say you're the best of all time, like for most people, you just can't even say that. Like you just can't, you know, like, even if you want to believe it, like you just can't say it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. No, thank you, Tuga. I ain't with you. The other brothers are more on your side there. I ain't really with you, brother, but I appreciate the call in regardless. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
W. Thank you, Tuga.
That's a Tuga, man.
I like that one though.
That was an interesting one.
You can make the claim that Acorn's got to be one of the most underrated IGLs though at the moment, because again, like touched on TikTok kids and Cold, and like it's just, you know what I mean? Like I think that what he does and the way he plays goes very, very under the radar. People just thinking he's just, you know,
For sure.
he's the guy playing with Cold, which makes no sense.
Because even
when you look
before
at Cold's ability to
and
get himself into endgame with Surge, like Cold, if they switch roles, Cold's not IGLing a Grant. Like he's just not one of those players who has that game sense. He just kills shit because that's what he does, but you need to aim him at something.
I was watching back one of his Grands videos on stream, right? And like, you know, you're watching him pop off all these end games, and there was one end game where I remember he must have like said something like, "Yo, let's do this," and I was like, "No, don't do that." And like Acorn said like the complete opposite, and I was like, "We've learned something here. The brother is on fire. Don't let that brother make his own decisions. Just like take him to the water and let him drink." Yeah, top players.
Another thing about like the public opinion is you could win a grand finals and dud next season, and everyone's like talking shit.
Yeah,
You got lucky on it.
You could have everyone's praise. Like it's like Peterbot in the beginning of this season. He had the craziest season last season. Has a couple bad tourneys, and everyone says his time is up.
Yeah.
True.
It wasn't even grands, bro. It was like 2 cash cups in. He didn't win both with every game one. And it's like, damn, this kid was asked the whole time. And it's like, what the? Yeah, nah, it's Fortnite scene, bro.
You guys ready for the next caller? Let's get him in.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Josh, and I'm from California.
Hey, Cali in the building.
Yeah.
Ali.
What's your take, Josh?
My take is that medkit shouldn't be able to heal off in a 10-tick zone.
Yeah. I could not agree more. Could not agree more. Levin, no.
I'm thinking. I'm just thinking. I'm just thinking right now. Let me think.
Like you're a straight agreement, Blake? You don't like the current way medkits work?
Especially with like, I mean, I guess he says FNCS, but like if we're looking at like solo victory cups, every game's a heal off. Like it's so boring. Like, you could play perfectly. Like I remember you were watching someone on stream one time. I forgot who it was. They had 30 kills.
So many, bro.
30 kills, and they get second place to a heal off.
Yeah,
like, that should just not be a thing. You should not be able to play a game that flawlessly and still lose. And especially going into like FNCS, play a game flawlessly, but someone just has 4 floppers, 6 medkits. Like it's just, I don't know.
It is a bit on the rough side. I think solo victory cups, I think we can all agree the heal off for that is kind of boring, and I think it defeats the whole purpose of solo victory cups, the idea that anyone can win it. And I guess maybe casuals think that heal off is easier because it takes less gun skill, but if you like can't take a single ticker zone, have to stay front side, can't stagger, go for a refresh, can't take to me, like it is actually so much harder, I think, to win a game in solo victory cups that go to these medkit heal offs. FNCS, it hasn't played out too bad, but I think that's because we're in a low mobility meta. I think if we had a high mobility meta, it would be very different. Like if it was just fists, oh my god, every game of FNCS we go on to heal off, and it's the most boring shit ever. I could not agree more. I don't know if Mavericks watches my watch parties, but man, I'd be bitching about 10-tick medkits all the time. Levin, come on. You've had time to think.
I got stun locked a bit there. So Maverick, I'm gonna ask you to clarify it because I'm reading the text and it says medkits shouldn't heal in 10-tick zones. Are you saying that it shouldn't be able to out heal you so you can stay alive, or are you saying specifically like your medkit shouldn't work in a 10-tick zone?
You shouldn't. It should work, but it shouldn't be able to out-tick it.
Out heal it.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what I was getting caught up on a bit there. With that being said, I don't like heal-offs. They're not fun. I've casted Fortnite now for years, and all of my least favorite seasons have been the seasons where it was silly heal-offs. So if you want someone to be like, heal-offs bad, I am high up on that list of people, 100%. The key thing, I guess, is just making sure that there's not other things, right? In terms of like medkit specifically, I don't really have much of a problem with that. I don't want to waffle too much because there's not much to say. It's like, fair enough.
I think the way medkits work now, without pop them like, like bits of them and then you can like stagger back, I think it's better. I think medkits are better the way they are. It's just the being able to literally pop them back to back. So I keep saying, I think if you add a 3-second delay to medkits, I think that fixes them. There's no other context. I think early mid game, if you get caught in zone and you want to pop a medkit, that's fine. Someone's fighting and you want to get a quick medkit off, but they interrupt it. I think adding a 3-second delay between back-to-back medkits only makes it not work in 10-tick heal offs, except for you can obviously rotate in floppers, but even then the amount of prep that would have to go into that starts to make it a bit more skillful again. But you need to fix them in a way that doesn't just break them for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
I've talked about it so many times. Epic will never just revert makers the way they used to be, because in 0.1% of the competitive players don't like the heal offs. You know what I mean? Like, or in 0.1% of the games the competitive players play, it ruins it. They're not going to do that for casuals. That's such a small, minute amount for them. But a change like that won't affect casuals realistically at all. And if it does, it affects it only in a good way. And then it fixes comp. So something like that would help. But I don't think they're going to do that, though. Let's be real. I think it's just easy to leave it the way it is. But I don't know why Epic likes heal offs. I don't think they do.
They don't like heal offs. Whenever we've had
like
big heal offs, they've always done things to change it. So I think they know heal offs aren't good. I don't think they like heal offs. It would be interesting. I wonder, like, with that though, to what extent do they need it to be a problem before they change it? Because in solo victory cups, every game goes to heal off, right? It's all about the med kits, but they've never really done anything. Whereas, like, I feel like if on the FNCS broadcast, every game was constantly going to heal offs, we would be more likely to see a change. I was going to say the broadcast. Yeah, it's like
watching them. I think it's when they watch them. Like, I don't think they're actively sitting down watching every victory cup, but they watch FNCS and they listen to you trying to cast 11. Well, I wish it was you trying to cast, but they listen to the casters trying to cast over who's in zone. This person's in zone, and oh my god, he's 3 med kits to 1. 40 seconds, 30 health, 21, popping a med kit, flopper, pop another one behind the corner. Who has more med kits? It's boring as fuck. No one cares. Like, just a math battle. Who has more med kits? Who had more health? It's so boring, and I think they recognize that. But they don't care about solo victory cups, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, Blake, is there a meta of heal offs where you've liked? Like, early chapter 2 was a big one I can think of. Like, solo FNCS meta, like playing floppers and stuff. Like, that was like kind of staggering with floppers, but wouldn't go to a straight heal off. Were you a fan? Or just straight
I feel like back then it was more of you use floppers to flank height.
Yeah.
I don't think it really went to heal off. I liked that.
Yeah.
I mean, I landed shark. I had a lot of fishing holes back then. So, like, you just like get 4 to 8 floppers, whatever. You flank height, you take height, you win the game. But I don't really like the actual like going to heal off, especially when it was like slurp juices back in chapter 4.
Med mists,
pizza parties, and
med mist pizzas. Like, that was just so bad.
Flopper small fry bases just being set up. Oh my god!
Like, you go into like you're late in the end game. If you don't have white heals, you just know you lose. Like, you're playing knowing you're gonna lose the game. It's just so boring.
Yeah, that is a bit boring. Maverick, does yours come from like a viewer perspective or a player perspective? Like, do you compete and like play solo victory cups and try and win, or are you talking from like watching them, or both?
Both.
Both? Yeah, okay. Fair. Yeah, it's not fun. I agree. I haven't played them.
It's not fun to watch or play.
I'm not making it to it. Yeah, I'm not making it to a solo victory cup endgame, but they both seem boring. I don't think I'd enjoy playing it either.
Yeah, no, it's not great. There are like niche cases where I'm like watching an Aussie viewing party and it's like, we're like, oh my god, does he have enough heals? And I'm a bit like on the edge of my seat.
Sometimes.
But then again, it's like
sometimes
it just gets
very rare though.
True, very rare.
Yeah, and that would only probably be more exciting if the stakes were a bit higher with FNCS. But then it would have to be occasionally. Like, I'd want to see someone pull off like a niche heal off strat where it's like they maybe in one specific area of the map you can pull something off because there's like, again, I don't know, like the like when people use like the vending machines
and there's a
campfire and vending machine, like that feels cool because it's super niche and exciting. But when it's just, oh wow, this guy on height has 6 med kits, the guy on low ground has 1 med kit, even if he wins the drop down, he's not gonna win. Like, I just know he's not winning.
Yeah. I hear it. Thank you very much for the take, Maverick. Appreciate
Thank you.
Have a good night, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Maverick.
Thank you. Pardon? Oh, did you say something? I didn't know what you said. Either way.
Maverick, should heal off. Oh my god.
Left, yeah. Not a fan of the heal offs. I don't think many people are, to be fair.
I don't think almost anyone is. I don't know a single person who's like, yo, I love heal offs.
Yeah, that's not really a thing. Let's get the next caller in. I think we got a couple more callers. We're going to start wrapping up, but let's get the next caller in.
Okay.
What is your name and where you calling from?
My name's Zyra. I'm from the UK. And do you want to give my take?
Yes, sir.
My take is that victory cups should just be scrapped. I feel like with like how med kits work now and stuff, the heal off meta just isn't good. It's not really skillful. As long as you can make it to like the last zone and you have enough med kits, you win the game.
Can I ask quickly, so we specify the conversation here? So you think victory cups shouldn't exist because of the heal off? If there was victory cups with no heal off, was a lot more of like a fighting meta, you then think they should still exist? It's just because they're like decided by heal off.
I feel like I'm more, but because of the heal off, I dislike them a bit more. But I feel like victory cups as a whole just still shouldn't be a thing. I think when it was 1 round, it was just a lot more skillful.
I agree with that too. Or 2 round, like qualifying for finals and then make money. But I don't really like the whole idea of victory cup. Actually, no, I don't.
Set lobbies, bro. I just play. I want a 1-round cash cup.
No,
you would
1-round cash
cup, maybe. Okay.
No, I didn't like the solo cash cup with 2 rounds either. I like the 1-round solo cash cups. You play 3 hours and you either do good or bad. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that was way better than the victory cups. Victory cups, I'm not a fan of, but play them. I rage every time.
Is that like, for you, is that a money thing? Or because like obviously there's a bit more money in the regular victory cups. And again, you are a good solo player. You've been one of the better solo players. You're talking about like Shark and stuff. Like, you know, I mean, you want a solo FNCS. Is it because of a money thing or an enjoyment thing for you?
I want solo FNCS?
So no, I know because you do really well, and so you're talking about how you want a solo FNCS.
Oh,
Sorry,
I thought you said I won one.
So like, no. So you like stacked solo 20s, or you like solo 20s that obviously are traditional. You get an 8-kill 4th, and you're looking great. You actually earn something.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know. I mean, I used to do good in all the solo cash cups that were 1 round. Whenever they switched to 2 round and the victory cups, like that's when I just get so tilted. But I would definitely prefer 1 round solo cash cups.
I am a solo victory cup advocate. I think the solo victory cup is the best tournament format they've ever made, because I think it appeases so many of the different people within the competitive ecosystem, and the people who like it the least, I feel like, are the top players, which is why, as we've said on this show many times, I think you appease those people by just giving them a solos tournament at the end of every season based off of how good you do in those victory cups.
I also don't think the solo victory cups were made for the top pros.
They're not.
No, they're not.
They're not.
That's why they're so good.
Right, they're not.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's why like whenever pros are like, I don't like them, I'm not too upset about it, because again, it wasn't really made for you. So I get it. I think I don't like the notion of getting rid of solo victory cups. I think we've all been in the scene for a long time. I'm talking about us 3 years specifically, and we've seen the ups and the downs of competitive. We've seen times when there was loads of interest. We've seen times when there was no interest. Solo victory cups have helped with interest. It's helped bring people
100%.
into the game. And for that alone, we struggle to get people into comp, I feel like, at times. Like, in terms of how you consistently get people interested and involved in comp, we've really struggled with that at times. And the fact that Solo Victory Cups clearly has done that consistently, that's not something I want to get rid of. Any problems that come with Solo Victory Cups, I think we fine-tune them. So in the case of what you're saying here, Riot, like, okay, cool. Then let's figure out a way to make those games not as heel-offy, right? Or let's figure a way to give the better players more incentive after a victory cup, maybe. But like, I feel like victory cups are good. I don't want to see them gone.
I can just say analytically, like just from my own content, I've been doing this for a long time, and it's just solo victory cups pulls numbers and viewers for everyone, and player base. We can see from the player base, it just pulls players. So I mean, Muzz just summed it up pretty well. Then again, as a professional solo cash cup enjoyer, I can say that round 2 solos is best for viewership and hype, and 1 rounds are more fun to dominate and make free cash. So most pros like Blake are going to enjoy the 1 round, just get in for 3 hours, play really well, make a lot more consistent money. But again, that's not who they're catered for. The victory cup videos, streams do really well. The player base is good, and it just gives people hope. That is the tournament that makes you think that because you almost raid round 2, all you have to do is make that round 2 next week and win 1 game and you made money. And like, that's what is massively boosting the player base and the viewership, I think. So I think solo victory cups for the investment they take are amazing. But yeah, just again, throw on a big solo tournament for the pros. Everyone wants that as well. And then the people who love the victory cups and want to get better are going to go watch the best pros on the best stage and be like, I want to be even better like these guys. Like, I want to make it here as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's why I fall on it.
Zyro, are you saying it from like a viewer perspective though? It sounds like it doesn't sound like you play. It just seems like they're just boring to watch, or you actually play them and you find them boring to play.
Like, I wouldn't say I'm the best player, but I've had like my times in like solos where like in opens I've came like top 100 like quite a few times. Where in like a round 1, like if it was a single round, I would have done well. I would have got something from it. But then when it gets to finals, it's just it's a hill off. I struggle.
Yeah, and it's just Is it like that's fair enough, and you just find it boring? Like I mean, like Blake said, it's a tilter. Like it is very tilting to the players playing it. Me and Levin are both sitting here as people who don't really play them that much. We just watch them and look at it from the outside in. For the players, I can fully understand why victory cups are frustrating. I know people who've got like 19 second places. They've played 19 different 5-hour tournaments now and have made $0 from that, despite playing extremely well. Just that one extra little bit not good enough.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just thinking there for a sec. I So I've not made many solo cash cup round 2s in my time, unfortunately. We'll change that towards the end of this year. I can see a world where if you came to me and said, Levin, I enjoy playing round 1 of Victory Cups more than round 2 as someone who consistently makes them. And I'm talking like if you're like a more casual comp player or like just not like a top thrower, I could see that. I feel like the round 1s might be more fun for people who are looking for more of that experience where like you are rewarded, right, for like a good game. Whereas in the round 2, you're not rewarded for a good game at all. If you don't win, it's meaningless, right? Whereas like in the round before that, it's like if you got like a second with 5 kills or something, it's like, oh, good on you, right? So like I get that. Where round 1 might be a bit more fun to play. But yeah, I think we just offer more competitive offerings to satisfy that itch.
Tournaments.
More tournaments,
Always comes
man.
back. More tournaments, man. Like we're getting 0.1% of the revenue here or some bullshit, probably even less. Just more tournaments. Keep everyone happy. And if you want to play solo victory cups, just don't play them. But I think a lot of pros and a lot of players force themselves to play them because that's their one chance at solo earnings. If you could just like be like, look, I'm not going to play it. I'm going to play the regular solo cash cup that's, at the end of the season. Something like that. Like it'd just be so much better.
Yeah.
Thank you for take those, Zara. Appreciate it, bro.
Thank you.
If you have any rebuttals, you just still disagree with this completely. But if they had something else on top of victory cups, it was regular solo tournaments, you'd probably be fine with them continue running, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's just like when like let's say I'm in a call with my friends and we're all playing the victory cup. Like I come, let's say top 100, like I did I don't know how long ago, and my friend comes top 6k, and then we get to round 2 and he earns and I don't. And my friend, I wouldn't really say he's the best, but I don't know how he's done it. Like, it just comes down to him being
I've
on hype.
seen some lucky wins, bro.
Yeah.
I don't want to flame your friend, but man, like one of my mods, KFI, my man earned recently, and oh my god, homie just got gifted it. No offense, I'm gonna call him out right now. I love you, KFI, but holy shit, my man just got given the win. And on the alternative, like Blake talked about, we have people like Chap dropping 32 kill wins or something, going for a world record. Could have dropped the world record, sat back to play medkits, got a medkit glitch, and then didn't win. And it's just absurd to think about those two differences, but it's just. Yeah, the victory cups, I think most people agree, they aren't the most skillful. They just give people hope, and I think that's why we need them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Thank
that's
you, Desire. Appreciate it, man. You got this, bro.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck,
Keep the
man.
men's love. You got 100 beans on the line.
100 beans.
He's going to earn. Homie's going to earn. I have a feeling. He's motivated. He'll put it
Wants
together.
it.
Actually, it's 76 beans, mate.
Dude, do you think there is... Blake, do you understand how the taxes work for like Fortnite pros?
Yeah, you get 24% taken out before you can take out the money. Like it's like when you're paid out, you get 24% less, and like that's just withheld. And it's on the tax form that they give you. At the end of the year.
You can get your tax returns,
pros. So many people don't know it. Like they think like when they talk like I don't know. Like I think Fortnite kids think there's like a consistent like epic taxes you, not like the state or country.
It's a
such
country.
a boring conversation, but
It's
so
federal
many people, like
tax.
so many Fortnite pros just don't get
It's funny.
how tax works, and it's insane.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I'd rather it be like that.
So much. Yeah, it's
I
way
would
better
rather
like
get it
that.
taken out before I get it, because then you just never see it.
Yeah.
Can't spend it, and then you have
having
this
to
huge
pay it.
lump that just ruins at the end of the year. That's why I think they're one of the main reasons why they do it. But yeah.
But you also
I wish everyone did that, like Twitch and stuff too.
You also get like tax returns, at least when you're like EU, like certain countries in EU that have like the thing. So like there's pros that I know of who are like retired, like long retired pros who like got their tax returns. And it's like a crazy lump sum. Like I've heard of like some old pros who retired who like would just get like 30k lump sum of like just their tax return money, and it's like, oh damn, I'm chilling now. For a bit at least. So yeah, you can get that money back if you guys didn't know. So yeah, chilling. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, like, I feel like maybe, like, not on this podcast, gonna put everyone to sleep, but maybe one time we should do like a little, like, get like some accountant on here or something, and be like, yo, Fortnite pros, what you're doing wrong, because the amount of money I know Fortnite pros are just wasting, because they don't understand how this works, like claiming it back, and like if you don't hit the tax-free threshold in the country rings, you don't earn enough. Like, oh my god, yeah, it triggers me. But I want to help kids, but also it's so boring to talk about. It's just the worst content you could ever make.
I think if you just like, if we slap on like Subway Surfer on one side, maybe you know, so like, we gotta give them something to keep them like locked in somehow. You know,
for sure.
All right, let's get a caller in. We got a caller ready.
Yep.
Hello. What is your name and where you calling from?
All right, I'm Rank. I'm from New Jersey. I feel like there should be a kill cap on tournaments. I feel like overall right now, like everyone's just W king, which is why we're getting these like crazy kill games, which is cool. But like I feel like the that they're like getting these high kill games against are bad anyway. So like, is it really that enjoyable to watch? I feel like watching a stacked end game is way more enjoyable.
I feel like a kill cap could be good, but if it's like back in Stark season, there was a 20 kill cap in the Cash Cups.
Oh god, so bad.
The good teams like Batman, Booga, Rapid, like Peterbot, they're gonna drop the max kills, 20 kill win their first game, be in a lobby with a bunch of other people that got 20 kill wins who aren't that good, and they're gonna drop another 20 kill win. And then they got 2 max point games back to back. So I feel like there's not really a solution to that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if a kill cap would fix that. Because the top teams will still do it. You know?
Yeah. Like, once it sounds so good in theory, and there's times where I've been like, oh, kill cap's coming out, that's gonna be great. But then pros still just farm the lobby because like even with the risk, unless the reward's high enough, they just get bored and they don't care as well. That factor comes into it too. But yeah, like Blake just said, the way it affects skill-based matchmaking, maybe we need like our FN math homie back in here, or even like Finch or something. Like the way it staggers the skill-based matchmaking ends up not actually being like that much more skillful than what you think it is, which is kind of weird. But I do think there are major issues of like reverse elo glitching as well, stuff like that. I just find all of it I can't say cringe because they're making money, but like the fact there's a new strategy anyone watching doesn't know, where pros will try to drop as low of a kill win as they can in their first game to get in a lobby against bad players to then drop their big kill win, because it's easy to get a 2 kill win and then a 30 kill win than getting a 30 kill win versus other pros to then get a 2 kill win. And stuff like that does feel cringe, but kill cap is something they've tried, but it just never seems to work. It always just, they never get it right. And it's so hard to actually balance the amount of kills for placement. I know what you mean. Straight running through lobbies gets a little bit like memey sometimes, and it gets a little bit like mess sometimes, but I'd rather watch that than forcing pros to sit in a box just staring at each other for like 20 minutes against bad players to then just take height for free and win the game anyway.
I think that maybe they could, I don't know how other people would feel about this, but if they had placement just be higher, more than 65 points, and just have kills worth less where people want to play endgame, like even if the top pros are still keying as much as they are, it's not going to benefit them as much as it does now. You know?
Yeah. The other thing we've talked about is, I've talked about it a few times, and it would be a little bit complicated. It would change things up a lot, but Apex's Legends kill multiplier has always been an interesting concept to me. In Apex Legends, there's a certain amount of kills you get, and then it gets multiplied by your placement. So if you get 20 kills and win the game, you get a shit ton more points than getting like a 20 kill and dying in like 8th, because you lost the placement, but it's the multiplier that really, really matters. That's the biggest one. You need to get the kills, but only in as far as the kills don't risk you then losing out on a bunch of placement. Fortnite pros just straight up kills the placement means that as long as you get that 30 kills and die in like 15th or 20th, it's not as detrimental, but the multiplier makes it really, really hurt, even when you get a bunch of kills, but you go down right before the placements.
Because it's like it was for nothing.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just mathematically how they make it work, and that's what COD does as well. It's the reason why both the other battle royales do it, but it ruins the simplicity, and Fortnite thrives on simplicity. So I don't know if that works, but I don't know. Evan, do you like the? I mean, obviously, I get a lot of content out of it, but dude, like the race for the 40 bomb kind of saved the victory cups for me in a way as well.
Hey,
I think that's also because the heal offs are boring. Yeah, I think that's because the heal offs are boring though. So I think that's a deeper thing we've obviously talked a bunch about.
Yeah. When it comes to like the kill cap stuff, I feel like you guys touched on mostly everything. There's not much more I'd add to that. They've tried it, didn't really work. I think the big thing is like I feel like you were about to ask me, Ozzy, like, am I interested in like the high kill games? No, I've not been for quite a while now. In some cases, I am, but usually when it's just like someone I didn't expect, like, but like after like Peterbot's, 5th, 35 plus kill game, I was a bit like, I get it. Like he's the GOAT, like I get it.
Yeah, he's just running through people. But cash cups don't need to be like, that's again where we come back to the fact that we're trying to make every tournament for peanuts feel like they need to be set lobbies and they need to finish against the best of the best. Sometimes just watching pros run through a lobby filling group is not that crazy, right? And save FNCS for that. FNCS is where it's the best of the best. You play super hard for placement. You try to win every single game, and it matters a lot more. So, like, Rank, are you from a player or viewer perspective? I know I always put that back onto the person. Is it boring to watch, boring to play? Like, why do you want the kill cap?
Boring for both. I feel like if I'm in a duo cash cup and I'm chilling and I just got done a fight and like they have no clue like how much health I am, how good loot I am, and I'm just getting hard keyed and they're just playing to just till the end of the fight. They're not like gonna run away or anything.
Yeah.
They're just playing to grief me on purpose. That's the most annoying thing. And then same thing for watching the pros. I feel like, yeah, these crazy kill games are fun to watch to an extent, but like when they're just getting 30 of their kills from bots standing still who don't know what they're doing, and they're going against the top 10 players in the world, like,
yeah,
it's just.
It's tough. And then there's so much RNG in the first game. Like I'm sure, Blake, you've experienced so many times in tournaments where you just happen to get in a game with 2 other FNCS Grand Finals teams. Like, well, shit, that might be my whole cash cup just gone now. Like, I'm just not going to be able to drop the massive game I would have. And it's just full RNG. I do agree.
It's like an endless loop. Like, if you don't have that good first game and you can't get that first game, you're going to burn through games and then you're in an endless loop for the rest of the tournament. And like to get out of that, it's so hard. It's so hard to get out of that. It's so annoying.
Yeah, my biggest advice to anybody who is the bot in the lobby, I have experience in that, is pray you get a pro in your lobby. You know, pray you get a pro.
And then you don't run into them.
And just run. And because most of the time, the pro's going to get red line rig. So pay attention to the feed, see who gets rig, and stay as far away from that coin as possible. And you are going to farm
get your free placement. Let's go.
Trust
free
me.
Second place, baby.
Yeah, you are farming placement. I promise you that. Yeah, I don't really have much more to add to that one, Rank, but I don't think kill cap is going to be the way forward to deal with that problem in particular.
Yeah, I think we all agree there's a problem. Like kill cap, just sadly they've tried it, doesn't really fix it. Right, Rank?
Yeah,
I feel like pros are gonna dominate either way, which I feel like it should be.
Yeah.
Like they play all the time, and like they deserve to dominate. I just feel like for like the less like good players, it would just make it a little bit more competitive for them.
Yeah, I think abusing skill-based matchmaking has got to be so boring for like players like yourself. Like just all of a sudden having someone do that first game, you got like a 5-kill, win. You're feeling good now. All of a sudden you have fucking Peterbot in your lobby just dropping a 40 because it's just better for skill-based matchmaking. That definitely gets boring for sure.
Yeah.
Not to sidetrack too much as well. I feel like it wouldn't feel as bad as a problem if there were more opportunities for you to play against players with your own skill, which there isn't because ranked is bad. So like if you could actually just play ranked and you're constantly playing against people of your own school, if you went into a tournament and got cheesed by a pro being in your game and rolling you, it wouldn't feel as bad because you'd be like, well, this is a tournament, this shit happens. Whereas like you could just go back to rank and play, but we just don't have that. So it definitely hurts more. Thank you very much for that, Rank.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
I'm glad you're thinking about it, but
Have a good one.
Have a good night, man.
See you, dude.
Have a good night. That was going to be our last caller. Rank is going to be our last caller for the night. Blake, I know you got scrims very soon. You're hitting that grind. Hopefully we can see you bossing it in FNCS. You got anything planned coming up soon?
No, I mean, I'm just here every day getting ready. We got like 10 more days. Let me check.
Oh,
10 more days,
so
bro.
long, man. It's and we got 20 soon though as well. Like it's FNCS is a while away, but we got the Victory Cups coming up soon. We got
we got
Solid Victory Cup,
Cups.
Duo Cash Cup. Yeah, so it's
It'll
almost there.
like,
We're almost there.
We got less than a week until there's actually stuff to do, but right now it's one of the roughest droughts, I feel like.
It's been tough.
A month break in the middle of FNCS. It's just crazy. And I mean, the last 2 seasons I took a trip.
Yeah.
But like this season,
I saw both those and I was like, man, like you can tell Blake's been around the block for a while. My man learns to just like disconnect during the break rather than just sitting here and just waiting because it just burns you out so much quicker.
I wish I took another one this break, but I don't know. But it definitely helps, like a mental reset going into it, and then you go into it like fresh. You're not drained and burnt out from just scrimming every single day. Like I don't think it's bad to take a break and like not be playing.
Yeah.
But you got to hold down the job, bro. You and Mac, we got to put in some work, man. We got
I've been
shit to do. Last chance to land,
with Phil every single day. Been testing.
Yeah, I was backwards. Hey, I mean, that's still good. At least you're getting in the prac of how it fights out and stuff like that. That's good.
Yeah.
I honestly think scrims right now is the best when you're con because that's all that really matters for us on the spawn practice right now. If you're going to be cons.
Yeah, definitely.
You're going to be watching Aussie? You're going to stay live after this?
Yeah, I'll probably stay live and watch for a little bit. I think just chill out for a bit. I like watching against some of the off spawns. It depends on the teams, man. Like Blake just said, everyone's playing with Phils, so like it's fun for a little bit. If there's a couple of teams playing with their actual teammate, but yeah, I'll check it out as always.
Okay, we'll
see Blake win 3-0, 6-0.
Yeah, let's go.
9-0 if he's feeling real motivated every session today. He's coming on.
I feel like the game's about to start.
Thank you for
the
invite. I appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Really
Cheers, lad. Cheers.
Wrapping us up, Levin.
Yeah, we'll take it home. Appreciate you, Blake. Aussie's gonna stay live, so for the people watching the show live right now, be sure to stay in Aussie's stream, as he will be here to satisfy your Fortnite needs.
do my thing. Last stream, I get 5 days off. This is my second longest break ever. I'm actually so excited. And then come back for the cash cups all gassed up, man. It should be fun.
Are you gonna like fully break, or are you gonna do like an IRL stream or something like?
I might do one IRL stream while I'm there. I know you know me pretty well, but I've told chat doesn't believe me that you can just hand feed kangaroos and they don't just fucking square up and start boxing with you. So I'm gonna try and do an IRL stream, feeding some kangaroos and showing like chat that Australia isn't just fucking like horse-sized tarantulas just walking around and shit. Like we have some cool ass wildlife that's not trying to kill you. But other than that, no, it's literally going to be. Other than that, it's like a full disconnect.
I unfortunately am the people in chat who think Australia is like that. So
well, there you go. Tune in my stream. I'll show you, man. It's not that crazy. I'll be feeding some like colorful ass birds and some kangaroos, all chill until the crocodiles show up. But then you know.
Yeah, then you gotta run.
This shit gets wicked.
Yeah, I will be chilling myself until I'm obviously.
What are we up to?
There's
you
football
doing
tomorrow.
Interviews this morning, though, right? Filming some content for the broadcast, yeah?
Yeah, I don't even know if I was supposed to say that, but yeah, I say everything. Like, no, to be fair though, I literally say everything. Like, I like people be like, "Yo, Levin, are you at Globals?" Like, I'm not. I'm at Global. I'll just tell you guys. Like, I was filming interviews. I did like some cool interviews. You guys will see that on the broadcast soon.
Hell yeah. You should be asked that. That's good. That's high. Like, there's no negative to come out. That's awesome.
No, that's true. Yeah, we spoke to a couple players that were. I actually spoke to Alex and Worthy. Which was cool.
They're cool guys. They're cool guys.
Yeah, really nice. I'm going to watch football tomorrow. We got the Euros on. We got. I'm gonna go watch Wimbledon. Actually, I got invited to go watch like tennis, which is I'm so excited about. Yeah, I got to wake up early to get there.
Sick.
So really excited about that.
Sick. That'll be a nice consolation because it's not coming home. I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't know. We'll see how you guys win it tomorrow. What do you think? Give us your score prediction. Come on.
Score prediction for tomorrow. 1-0 to the Netherlands, sadly. I hope not.
Oh, no. Even Lemon doesn't believe. No.
I hope not, man.
No. See, it's over. You can't even play me, chat. Don't play me. My man doesn't even believe.
It's the reverse jinx. I'm going out to watch with my boys, so hopefully it should be a good night. Hopefully we leave, happy.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. All right.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Enjoy. Hopefully we have a very happy Levin next week, not a very sad Levin. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Well, appreciate you guys all for watching. One thing I will say before we wrap up, though, properly, we are going to try to do the show more consistently. It won't be on today, like on Tuesday. If you're watching this live, it won't be on Tuesdays. We'll try to do it Wednesdays around the time we started now. Is the plan.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do every single week Wednesday right after EU do a cash cup before NA. Again, sorry it's a little bit late for some of you guys. Maybe again that's why we'll have the rapid fire round, but we're gonna try and set a consistent day every single day on Wednesday after do a cash cup on EU before NA. We're gonna like lock in that time.
Maybe we can have in like off seasons, we have like one-off shows when there's like no tournaments. You have like one-off shows that are like EU time specific to help those guys. But for the most part,
at midnight, that's fine. I'll do it.
Yeah, actually, we'll see. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
I don't mind. I want to get the EU guys. You guys staying up late. I can do a couple early finishes. That's fine.
We'll figure something out. But yeah, appreciate you guys all for hanging out. Be sure to stay on Ozzy's stream as well because he's gonna stay live. We will see you guys all on the hotline very, very soon. Thank you for hanging out. Peace.
Happy birthday.